Darren Miller.
How you doing?
I'm alive, dude. How you doing?
I'm alive, barely.
Okay, I need your honest opinion.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I did my best to create this tone.
I was here. Yeah. Do you don't have the octave pedal?
No, I used the octave actually in the quad.
Oh, okay. It's built in. I have the old school one. I guess it's analog instead of digital.
So you're combining both the digital and analog.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't know that unless you just told me.
Sick.
'Cause I'm a very Luddite. You know that word?
No.
It's somebody that does not believe in. Well, it's not that I don't believe, but it's somebody that doesn't have a clue about technology. There it is.
Okay, this is a real word. Okay. Luddite, correct?
Yes.
Okay. A person opposed to new technology or ways of working.
Yeah. That's me. I'm not opposed to it. I'm too slow to learn it.
And you've always been this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still am obsessed with physical media. VHS tapes, DVD, Blu-ray, which I was kind of not really willing to go to Blu-ray after
Sure.
DVD, but yeah, cassette tapes I still listen to.
You still listen to cassette
Oh,
tapes?
yeah.
And also, so people listen and watch and know, like, your vinyl collection alone is just, it's psycho. And
It is.
I really, it's definitely like a collection you have it's on my bucket list to have. All my favorite records. There it is. If you're,
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's some of it.
that's some of it.
That's some of it.
Yeah, more.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. I don't even want to say how much that's worth.
How many? Two questions. So, how many vinyls do you think you have? And then, what do you think the worth of that is? Or maybe you don't want to say, or you don't want to know.
I'll say, why not? I probably have. That thing holds 100 times 100,
So 1,000.
and then I have another one of those. So
You have another one? Okay, so
probably have 3,500,
3,500 vinyl.
and I probably round them off to about $50-$60 a piece, because they're all rare. There's only 2 vinyls that I need to complete my collection, and that's the Best of Forbidden,
Best of Forbidden. Okay.
which was printed in 1991 in Europe. And the only copy I've seen is $300. It's called
Best of Forbidden. We can't find it.
there it is.
This is it?
Point of No Return. That's on vinyl on Music for Nations. Came out in 1992. One copy for $300.
So are you waiting for the price to go down, or what are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for me to just say fuck it. I'm gonna get it.
$300.
Yeah, because it is like there it is right there under one flag. Yep. And I bothered Craig about it. Craig from Forbidden. I bothered him about it. He's like, man, I don't know anything about that. I was like, wow, I would have bought a copy from you, but
That would have been sick.
yeah. I mean, it's really strange to get to the end of collecting something.
Because you've probably been doing it your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your first vinyl was from your mom, right? Like a Kiss record was that your first record?
The first record I ever had was from, well, my mom had Saturday Night Fever and Barry Manilow and Beatles and ABBA,
Yeah.
Carly Simon, like all this cool stuff growing up. And then when I was about 2, I discovered Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
People say, you were not 2. You can't remember I remember back then. We were,
You got that elephant brain.
well, but no, because I can't remember like chunks of my life after that. But anything that, even some stuff that didn't make an impact on me, I remember.
Yeah.
But that made an impact on me. Going, my cousin saying, let's watch a movie upstairs. And we went
Chitty Bang Bang, right?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Nice.
Yeah. How did you know that? You did some work, I guess.
It's just I just guessed.
And yeah, and you know that famous poster of Ace Frehley from 1977 where he's
The one on fire.
yeah, the one on fire. I saw that and I was like, I don't care about Dick Van Dyke and Don Knotts right now. Like whatever that is, I need to know what that is. And it was 1978, and my cousin was like, I was probably saying, "What's that? What's that?" You know, whatever. And my cousin took out all of his Kiss records, and I was like, "Oh my God, what is this?"
Yeah.
You know, because it was scary at first. I mean,
That's
the one.
Okay.
He had it on his wall.
Is that okay? I got a quick dumb question. Is that a real picture? Like a
Yes.
real actual picture? Okay.
Yeah. 1977. That's all it could be is a real picture.
If you're just you're right. You just
Pre-internet.
You're right. Okay, so if you're just listening, it's Ace Frehley with the I want to say a Gibson Les Paul, and it's completely on fire.
Yep.
it's almost on his face is on fire.
Yeah. And I just remember looking at that and saying, whatever that is, I want to be a part of it or know what it is. So this was when I was getting into Kisses, like when I got older, like 1980. Kiss Unmasked came out on my birthday, that album. And my aunt took me out to get it on my birthday.
Oh, that's sick.
But interestingly enough, on my 49th birthday, the 45th anniversary of Kiss Unmasked, I also got a copy of Kiss Unmasked on my 49th birthday. So for 45 years, I've been getting this album for my birthday. But but the first Kiss album I got was from a babysitter that babysat me when I was 3 years old. She's like, "You like that band?" It wasn't cool anymore. So she brought it over. And then I had another babysitter that brought over, she brought me Dressed to Kill, and another babysitter brought me Destroyer, and then I started to build a collection off of used records from my babysitters.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then from
At
there,
3?
3 years old.
You started your record collection at 3 years old?
3 years old.
Who can say that?
You should see some of them.
That is,
because I used to
Darren,
draw on them.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. You can't really track the beginning of your obsession, like where it comes from and why. I don't know. It's like an OCD thing.
Yeah.
Can't explain it. But I'm obsessed with things. And then I used to be obsessed with American flags. Just collect them.
No rhyme or
Anybody
reason?
know what I'm talking about? No rhyme or reason. It was just something, but that helped me later on.
It's like, this is sick, dude.
It helped me later on in life because obsession turned to passion and turned to motivation and then making things happen.
Well, you need obsession to find your sound,
That's true.
you know?
That's true.
And you're definitely on that, Darren, you're definitely on a list of people that found their own sound.
Yeah, by mistake. It was by accident, really.
By accident.
Yeah.
You found who decided to name a band Oil? And just for I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was in a band, and when the very first band I had was when I moved to Westchester, Pennsylvania from Marlton, New Jersey.
Okay.
It was called This End Up. It was a thrash band, but we kind of had like some influences that I didn't really like because it was just some guys in high school I didn't know very well. But we got Rich Vose out of that, but that's a different story. And still friends with all of those guys. But from there, that band, a couple guys in that band went to college. So that band ended, and then me and Jess Margera were in the same math class in high school.
You guys went to high school together?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to high school with all those guys.
Oh,
but
okay.
I failed my freshman year, so I had to take like freshman classes my sophomore and junior year because I was overloaded with work from high school because of how bad I did my freshman year. I was so depressed.
Classic.
So when I moved to Westchester, it was like starting a whole new life, and I was able to leave all that New Jersey shit behind. But
why'd you leave Jersey?
my dad got transferred in his job, and he said to me, I'll never forget, he said, "I got some bad news." And I was like, "What's that, Dad?" He's like, "We got to move." And I was like, "Oh, thank God."
Really?
There's a lot of bad shit happened in New Jersey that wasn't good. I'm more than happy to get out of there. So, long story longer, we moved to Westchester, had a thrash band, then that broke up. I met Jess Margera in high school. We were in a math class together. And, you know, we would make fun of the teacher and stuff. She was a really crazy math teacher.
Yeah.
And we started the band Foreign Objects, which I based off of the Breed Beyond, the Roadrunner Breed Beyond from 1993, which was kind of like death metal, but they experimented on it, like 3 bands, Pestilence, Believer, and Cynic.
Okay.
And Atheist was also a part of that. And I started to get obsessed with metal, but doing not making it all about being heavy, like making it more technical. Not in the sense that metal is technical today, like it's out of control today.
It's out of control.
Yeah.
It's out of control.
But back then, before Pro Tools, it's like these bands actually had to rehearse this stuff and go in on 2-inch tape.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what was so impressive about it. So I had gone through the whole death metal thing and still do, but what intrigued me about it even more was how some bands were really willing to go out and try new things. And Believer with Dimensions, and Pestilence with Spheres, and Cynic with Focus. Those 3 albums, all on Roadrunner, changed everything, changed the whole. They all failed commercially, but whoever they did grab, they had a big effect on. And also Atheist Elements, that was on Metal Blade, but It's really the big four of the technical jazz death metal
Yeah.
thing of 1993.
Okay.
So we started a band called Foreign Objects, was basically a death metal band. It was more like mathematical. We even sung about numbers and math and
Yeah.
the meaning of life, high schoolers. But anyway, back to your original question.
Yeah.
We would send that demo out of that Foreign Object stuff, and everybody would be like, back then with the record company, you got to do what's like selling now. So I said, all right, maybe we should start a rock band and like try to get signed, because that's what you tried to do back then when you were in a band. You needed to get signed. That's how you move forward.
Uh-huh.
And we started a band that was like purely like, we tried to be commercial rock, which was like grunge at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Bam, Jess's brother, said Oil would be a good name for a band.
He said that?
Yeah, and at the
Oh,
time,
wow.
I mean, he was like 14.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah,
at the
you guys,
time,
you guys were kids.
right? And I was like, And 19 years old. He was like 14, and I was like 19. Maybe I was maybe 18, something like that. And we went with it. Just because, you know why? Because back then, in like 1997, 98, they were all one-word band names.
Yeah, it's true.
I can't think of any, but I know.
Nirvana,
Yeah.
Korn,
Yeah, like
Soundgarden.
just stuff like one-word names.
One word.
Like Flyleaf. Like just,
Yeah.
that has to be a band name. I know
It
it
is.
is, actually.
Pretty sick band too. Yeah.
But so Oil was not a good name, and it didn't last very long because we figured out pretty quickly that we weren't able to play the kind of music that we didn't like. And that's one of the biggest epiphanies you can have as a musician, is that you cannot go through with playing what you don't like, because sooner or later it's going to bite you in the ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of bands back then would play to make the money and then find themselves in a band that they didn't like.
Kind of sacrifice their soul.
Yeah. The soul comes first.
Yeah. It'll come out at some point. You'll be stoked for a year, 5 years, 10 years, maybe even more, but it will come around.
It does. Eventually it does. Well, that happened to me quick.
Mm.
So that Oil thing was over, and then pretty much just said, fuck it, let's do what we want to do and try to become a multimedia kind of thing. Because I always thought being in a band was boring. I always wanted to take it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you're a musician and you do more than just being a band.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we're doing here. When we were starting CKY and all that, we wanted to be multimedia. We wanted to do videos. All our friends get together and just call us all CKY. We're all CKY. Brandon, Ryan, Chris, Bam, Jess, everybody, we're all CKY.
Was that kind of the idea? Because you look at a band name more as like a movie, right, as opposed to a band name. And
Right.
I was curious. There's correct me if I'm wrong, Darren, but there was a pizza joint in Westchester that started in Amore's that in '93, and I was so there's only one, correct? It's only they only serve people in that county.
It was Amore's, I think, was just one restaurant.
It's one,
It's not
right?
a chain.
It's not.
No, it was.
I figured that. Is this it right here?
No.
I was wondering because I can only find one fucking picture of it.
That's Amore. Amore's. It was
I looked for Amore's and I'm like, so I thought, I think Darren messed up. I think he meant Amore.
right. If he
it is-
can't find it, then
Amore's.
it was on either High Street or Gay Street. But that's not the logo. It's probably gone.
Amore's. Yes, so I
Like apostrophe S, like it belongs to Amore.
oh, apostrophe yes.
Yeah. It's not on there.
Man, mate.
I could be wrong about the name.
I was curious because you talk about how you guys were there, and that's when the CKY name was conceived. And I was curious, like, who was actually there eating pizza? Are you guys just eating pizza, drinking beer? Are you too young to drink beer? Like, what's the? Because you're probably, I assume you were early 20s.
Well, now I'm confused because I remember the first band name we had after Oil was I Dismember Mama,
Yes.
which is off of a movie.
Yes.
From like the 1971 or something. Because I was thinking My Bloody Valentine, which is a band and a movie. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to name our band after a movie? So we became IDM, I think, for one show upstairs at Nick's.
You love the acronyms.
Philadelphia. Yeah, right.
Right out of the gates.
IDM, I Dismember Mama. We played Nick's Roast Beef, which was a venue in Philadelphia under that band name, I Dismember Mama. And then very quickly, I think is when we ended up in the pizza place. And it was just me and Jess and somebody else that was tagging along. I don't remember who.
Okay.
But we're like, no, it's not working very well. I was thinking, what would be a good name for a band that could be a movie? And being a huge fan of Sleepaway Camp, I said, you know what? Camp Kill Yourself. And we all just went, well, me and Jess were like, oh, geez, that's insane. And he said, what is that? I was like, well, it could be a movie about a summer camp where you go to kill yourself for some reason. Hey, you're right.
Man, you are a psycho.
1920. Yeah, I have problems. There's I Dismember Mama. Yep.
That cover is bizarre looking.
See the
I can't
bottom
even
left?
describe it.
That's the VHS version I have on you remember those big box VHS you could get at the video store?
DERON, I remember.
Okay.
Video, yeah.
Okay. Because that's
I'm 39.
There it is. This is fucking great. Am I allowed to say bad words?
Of course.
Okay. That's one of them. But the bottom left right there, that's the one that I have right now in my garage. Yep, I Dismember Mama. Never watched it. I think I watched it once and it was awful.
$40.
But an awesome name for a band. But I decided not to go with an actual movie title like My Bloody Valentine did, and just said, let's come up with our own name and our own movie, and Camp Kill Yourself, and we ended up making movies, and the multimedia thing kind of manifested itself into what we became.
It did, huh?
Yeah, it did.
I was curious. I wonder who DERON was with, because I just assume, okay, he's probably with Jess, chilling.
Yeah.
I was curious because you know things are sometimes someone says something and someone else says something. So I was just always curious what.
I remember this shit so acutely that whenever somebody tells the story of it, I'm like, no. But you asked me what I had for dinner last night. I have no fucking clue.
I get it.
But there are certain moments that you remember because
they stay with you
because they have such a huge impact on what does eventually happening in your life.
Yeah.
And so I remember that. Amore's Pizza, it's either on Gay Street or High Street. I can't remember. Because Westchester's a college town. So there was all these different restaurants. And I lived on East Barnard Street, which was right by Amore's. So you might want to check East Barnard Street. And they'll show you what Amore's is. But I doubt it's still there.
Me and Jay are kind of like determined right now to find this fucking spot.
If it's gone, it's gone. I mean, it might have closed down. Somebody right now that's watching this is probably like, that's not what it's called. It's called this. So I might be wrong about the name, but I'm pretty sure it's Amore's.
Amore's.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was just like a family owned.
Yeah. I mean, or a single person owned, you know? It was just a pizza joint. It was just where college kids went after, partying or whatever. It was open until 2 a.m. or whatever.
Oh, shit.
It was just a small little sit-down place. And
did they serve booze?
No.
Oh.
No.
That's not that hardcore pizza.
We didn't drink, me and Jess. We were like,
really?
If you drink, you don't make it. That's what we thought.
Really?
Yeah. We stayed away from any kind of drugs or alcohol. We used to play college parties and set up in the basement or, anywhere in the house. We would play parties and everybody would be wasted and we would just pack up our shit and go home. Because we thought for sure, if you drink or do drugs, you're not making it. So we kept to that deal for 4 years, maybe a little longer. But that was our pact.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Finally, we are on Patreon. If you're tired of waiting for Mondays, you can now get access to episodes early. And if you're curious what happens before or after the podcast, Patreon will offer you behind-the-scenes footage. And with social media, YouTube getting kind of crazy, it's impossible to reply to everybody. You get access to our Discord. And Discord will be the only place where I will be actively replying to everyone in our community. And I'll be doing exclusive live streams with other surprises. Head over to patreon.com/Garza podcast. That's patreon.com/Garza podcast. Or click the link in the description below.
Because we figured, that comes from Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. If you do drugs, you're not going to make it. So I took that to heart. And
I didn't know that. So do they not?
That could be it. Yeah. Is that on? What street is that on? Concord Road.
City? Can we get the city?
No, that's
Fuck.
not it. That's not it. You know what?
Fuck.
I wouldn't waste the time if I were you because I probably have the name wrong. It could have been Amory's or I don't know.
It's okay, Jay.
It could be Maury's Pizza. I don't know. I can't remember the name, obviously, because it's not online. But
The moment you leave, I'm going online and try to find this.
yeah, you guys will be up all night trying to find this damn pizza place.
So did you get that from Kiss?
Yes.
To not really.
Yeah, Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons are like because they're my Jesus Christ.
Sure.
Because from the very beginning,
So you're in the Kiss army, huh?
I'm beyond the Kiss army.
Got it.
That's all I can say.
Got it.
Nobody competes with me when it comes to the Kiss army.
Got it.
That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
So you probably like the disco period too, right?
I love all of it.
Woo!
But the disco period was where I was getting into it.
Interesting.
Because I was a kid, and who were they attracting in 1979, 1980?
Yeah.
4-year-olds, and I was 4.
Yeah.
So I was the kid getting into Kiss while all the diehard Kiss fans were getting out of them.
Mm.
So, if you're a Kiss fan, and I don't know if you are,
No.
there was a string of, right, I don't blame you. I always say, I tell Matt, I'm like, if I didn't grow up with Kiss, I'd hate them because it's just something that attaches to you when you're young and you can't get away from it.
Yeah.
It's just always with you.
Hmm.
It's hard to explain.
I
I
get
can
it.
hear that.
I get it.
On to the next thing.
No. I want to hear it all, dude.
But there was just a point where Kiss would put out an album every September, which means you would get it for Christmas. So there would be Kiss Unmasked, which was a pop album, and then
Okay, so I know one thing I do know about Kiss is that a lot of Kiss fans talk about Unmasked not being a good record.
Right.
Is there something to that?
yes, they're right, but also at the same time, it's like where records are made for people to listen to. A 4-year-old listening to Kiss Unmasked is makes total sense because that's what they were making pop music for. They were going after kids because they wanted the multimedia thing. They wanted to do Kiss Parks. They had Kiss bubblegum cards, Kiss sleeping bags, Kiss everything you can think of was Kiss. But then they changed their sound drastically in 1 year and made an album called Music from the Elder, which is like an operatic dark thing. So I thought there was a point where I thought that Kiss was the only entity making music because I wasn't exposed to anything else. We didn't have cable till later on.
Yeah.
And then Creatures of the Night and all these albums, it sounded different. They got heavier and better, but I don't want to bore you with Kiss stuff because I know that it gets annoying. I hate when Kiss fans talk about Kiss.
and you're one of them.
Yes.
I'm curious. So you're at some point you're a kid, a teenager. Where did you see them or hear them say that? Oh wait, was it like a Paul Stanley interview that hey, I don't drink.
Whenever
how did you find out?
back, that didn't come till later. Like when I was, I mean, I can't describe to you how much of a Kiss fan I was.
Okay.
Like picture it and then go beyond that.
Okay.
I heeded every word that Gene Simmons spoke and Paul Stanley as well. And I would see interviews, when I was 10, 11, all 10 to 19, and still to this day where, they say things and I'm like, yeah, that's true. And one of the things that hit me so hard is that if you drink or do drugs, you are not going to make it in the music business. And I really took that to heart. and I spread that word. I pretty much influenced Jess too not to do that. And
okay,
we didn't do that until it wasn't possible to not drink and do drugs, which is when we started to tour and all that stuff.
Interesting. Okay, so just to circle back. All right, so the band Oil.
Yeah.
And then finding your sound, and now I realize now you guys are sober at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to and you're playing music that isn't what you love, and so was it actually the rejection of some labels that might maybe be like, oh, like what am I doing?
Yeah.
Shout out to Monty Connor.
Yeah, he says hello, by the way.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. What's up, Monty?
You saw him like last week.
Oh, did you? Where?
I don't know. You saw him, wasn't it? Man, he told me that you saw him at a show in New York recently. He's a liar, so he might. I'm just kidding.
I was kidding.
No, he told me that he saw you. Well, he wanted me to say hi.
Oh,
but he is one of the people that was rejecting us. But that was Oil was way before that.
Yeah, and then and to Monty's credit from Roadrunner, it was like the cassette was like not sick, right?
Well, the Oil.
Yeah.
I don't think he got an Oil tape. He might have. Oh, he did. Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he was one of the people that did say, you know, I remember him saying, like, we were trying to be, I can't even say, like, we were trying to be like a gutless commercial.
You're going for like that.
Like Pearl Jam, like meets Offspring.
Oh wow,
it's a terrible tape. It was called the Gold Tape.
Yeah. We just pulled it up. I know that one.
Yeah. Yes. 500 of those suckers, maybe 300.
I mean, it looks cool. It's a gold tape.
That's the best thing about it was that it was
cool.
printed with a gold tint there. But yeah, we made like 300 of those, and for a couple of months we very begrudgingly and embarrassingly went out and played that material, and it sucked because we were doing something we didn't want to do. I was writing songs I didn't want to write. I didn't even know how to write them. I didn't even have lyrics for some of those songs. But we went into Studio 4 in Conshohocken, where the Butcher Brothers were producers. They did like Life of Agony and Anthrax and
sick.
They're known for much bigger stuff than that. But we did our tape there, and we spent a lot of money on it. And we thought that because we spent a lot of money on it in a really cool studio, Studio 4, of course people are going to find out about our music. We didn't know. We were learning as we went. So we got a lot of experience, a lot of rejection, a lot of myths that we believed were to be true were corrected, and we found out that that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So eventually we just said, fuck it. Let's just do music we want to do, and that's the music that...
Clean slate.
Yeah, clean slate.
You wanted to clean the slate.
Fuck trying to be Pearl Jam, fuck trying to be Foo Fighters, whatever. We said, fuck that stuff. Those bands are good at that stuff because they want to do that stuff. We don't really want to do that. So just being a fan of Clutch and me being a metal fan and Blue Oyster Cult and Kiss, of course, and all that stuff, we kind of like just merged all of our... what are they called?
Influences?
Influences, thank you. You might have to fill in some blanks for me. And you just did perfectly.
I'm here.
All of our influences merged together, and that's how we came up with what we were going to be doing, the CKY thing.
And you wanted, since you're a fan of like horror movies, you wanted to like combine what you liked about rock music, but also what you love about the horror movies, right?
Right. Slasher films, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, we wanted to take that kind of music, whatever we came up with. It was death, spiritual healing, and pestilence spheres that started the obsession with single note playing. And then
because which death metal kind of hates this, is when you take when you're influenced by the sound and you do something different. They don't even like that, but you were influenced by the single notes,
right? But
you didn't speed pick it, and then you added.
I slowed them down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
interesting. I didn't know that until today. It's cool.
Yeah. I mean, you just. slowed it down to. And then, you know, one of the biggest songs that influenced us was Death's Low Life.
Those are ways to life.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that became the CKY sound along with Clutch, and everything was put into CKY because we were already done with the let's try to go commercial thing.
It's done. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Right.
And that's it.
Well, we all wanted to do.
Yeah. So why did you go to the Westchester music store?
Oh, Albions?
Yeah.
Are you talking about to get the pedal?
Yeah. Why did you go? Is this a store? Hopefully, hopefully we got it right. Jeez,
it's got a different front now, but it used to be Albion.
Yes.
Albert was and Bien is his last name, Bien, and he was such a funny guy.
And
he was
and they've been in town for decades. Correct?
Oh yeah. I'm surprised you just found a new one. A new picture, but getting an old picture would be hilarious. But Al, you would walk in and he would act like he knew you, and he had all this crap everywhere, like just piles and piles of used stuff, and guitars, and you'd walk in and you'd be like, "Hey, Al," and he'd be like, "Hey," act like he's your best friend, and you'd be like, "Oh, I need this or I need that," and he'd be like, "I got it," and he would find it right away out of all this junk. But I ended up moving in with my girlfriend on Barnard Street, which is right down the street from Albion's music shop.
Okay.
And one day, it was 2 separate days. I got up and I walked up there and I saw this Parker guitar, and it was a really cool shape. I don't remember the model, but it was a Nightfly, but it was like an early version of the Nightfly that they have. And I was like, "Oh, I want that." That's not, I've never heard
though.
Something just drew me to it. It wasn't nothing really special about it. I mean, it was just a black guitar. It was a Parker.
Parkers were sick.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah.
Are they still sick?
They're still
I think
sick,
they're out of business, aren't they?
Well, I mean, they're not around.
The old ones that are still working are sick.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I went to Albion's, and I saw that guitar, and I was like, shit, it's $998. So I was working 3 jobs and trying to get money to buy this guitar, and finally got it. And when I took it home, I loved it because I had an Ibanez before that. That was the only. I never had a lot of guitars. I had like a really cheap BC Rich, and then I got an Ibanez, and then the Parker.
What about your cardboard guitar?
The which one?
Your cardboard one.
I used to cut out cardboard guitars
Yeah.
and play them.
Yeah, in front of the mirror?
Everybody did.
Yeah, did they?
Yes.
I didn't have a cardboard guitar.
Yeah, I'd cut out cardboard guitars and
sick.
play with them in a mirror. Oh, yeah, anything to get prepared for this.
Okay.
Prepared for what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, everything fell into place.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
That's what we do.
Yep. And you had a Ibanez RG. I think it was a
RG 570, 470.
Yeah, sick.
Black
Classic.
one. I used it for years and years and years. The only guitar I had.
Classic.
And my dad bought it for me.
Oh, it's hot, dude. That's a hot guitar still, man.
Yeah.
That's still a beautiful guitar.
RG 570, is that what it is? Yeah, that's it. That's the one. The pickups weren't as nice, but yeah. And I played that
sick.
all through my local bands in Westchester. Every single show. Yeah.
That's tight, dude.
Eventually something happened to it. I don't remember. I'm sure it got smashed on stage. But I don't have any kind of like emotional connection to guitars, so it was okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Some people have that. What is it called?
Sentimental value.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Exactly what I was trying to
find.
Thank you. Please do. Because I draw blanks on very simple words sometimes. Yes, I don't have any sentimental connection to any kind of musical instruments. Now, you crease a vinyl cover of any of my records, then
fucking kill you.
Yeah, I have to go get another copy.
Yeah,
that's just my obsessive thing. But if you break a $900 instrument, that's okay.
So what? So you went to the store because you lived down the street from it to check out the Parker, or what's the?
I checked out the Parker. I looked at the price tag. I said, "That's ridiculous. I'll never be able to afford that." And then I couldn't get it out of my head because I had the Ibanez, and I wanted to move on and get a new guitar. So I saved up for it. And finally I went up to Albion's and I bought it from Al.
We got it.
Got home, played it in my room, and then said, I don't like the normal sound of a guitar plugged into an amp. You know, so
interesting.
It sounded like, you know, everything sounded like this to me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really, you know,
it's missing something.
Yeah, it's missing something. So I went.
What's it missing?
It's missing the OC2, the Boss OC2, and I went to Al's and I bought that just because it would be something that would help do something with a regular guitar tone.
So did you go there? This is where I couldn't find, so I'm trying to fill in the blank. So did you go there specifically for that pedal, or did you go in there?
No.
Just start looking.
No.
I need something to make this tone better.
I need something. I went in there and, you know, there's crap everywhere, pedals everywhere, but there was a tiny little display case and there was all these Boss pedals in there. And I was like, oh my God, look at all, because I didn't know anything about it. I still don't. I was like, look at all this stuff, man. This pedal probably does that. And what's this? A wah? Like, what's that go? Wah, 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 wah. Like, I was just perplexed. I didn't know what I wanted. So I said, I'll get this octave thing, because what I thought was, if I knew what the octave was going to do. I knew that it was going to double one string.
Okay.
So if I'm going to be doing single note songs, I don't want it to sound like a single note. It doesn't do it for me. So when you put this, when you put this on, you know, it's like fattens it up, and it's like two guitars playing one note. I don't know what the hell I did here. Did I do something?
No,
I just stepped on that?
No, you're good.
So it was just an accident. And I still collect pedals that way. I go in and I look at the colors, and that draws me in. I'm like, that one's blue, and it says it's a acoustify stuff, and this is some kind of synth pedal, and like I'll buy them like that. I don't have like one single gadget that has all the sounds for me. But yeah, now I'm a pedal collector.
So you found a brown
Boss octave pedal.
Octave OC1 or 2, or
it was that one. Not this exact one, but the exact same.
It was OC2, in case you're just listening.
OC2.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we have the OC2 here.
Yes.
Sick, dude.
Right here. This is not the one, but it's one of them. And we really, you know, in our career, we were praising the octave pedal, the Boss octave pedal, but Boss didn't really seem to care. A lot of people were buying it. A lot of guitar players were buying it, but they discontinued it. And then they came out with the OC3, and it was like, it didn't sound
something
right.
was missing, yeah.
Yeah, I think it might have been the transfer from analog to digital or something. I don't know. I don't know that stuff. It's like gibberish to me.
So I got to get a OC2. 'Cause sometimes you'll get the same pedal, but like the next, and it sounds different. Like there's something that like, it sounds the same, but something's missing. I can't put my fucking finger on it.
Like it's broken or something?
It's
like each one is made differently?
Yeah.
That could be possible. That is the one. Yeah, that is the one they replaced. First of all, it has 4 knobs on it when you only need 2.
Already not stoked on that.
I wasn't. Well, we bought one and we brought it into the studio. And thank God we held on to the originals, because we tried to use that while recording. We're like, something's not right.
Something's not right.
Yeah. It doesn't have the thickness of the.
There's something.
It was more too buzzy. Yeah. Some of the things this thing can do. Record it using all kinds of.
That's evil.
Yeah. So that was definitely. That's what we were gonna do. We're gonna write songs with this thing.
So, all right. So you buy it for $80.
Yeah, 90.
Okay.
95 or something like that.
Okay, and then you bring it home like, this is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. I plugged it in, tried to figure out how to set it up. You know, 2 chords, a battery, and the pedal, and my guitar. You know, plugged it in, set it up to my little practice amp, which I still use and have, by the way.
Is it the crate?
Yeah. I had a Gorilla one for a while.
I was like, is he playing a great little combo amp, and you still have it?
Still have it.
And it's the same one that you were jamming on.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude. Yeah, it's
yeah.
There it is. Well, no, that's
that's
over there.
Peavy from Matt's studio.
Look at that thing, dude.
Yep.
I was like, is he playing a freaking crate?
Yeah, I got a lot of praise and flack for that.
That's some heat, dude.
Yeah.
Crate has heat.
I didn't know. I started out with a crate half stack, and people were like guitar player friends of mine would like kind of bust on it. You know, crate, you suck. So I ended up getting a PV Ultra 120, which was a killer fucking amp. It was so fucking heavy. You listen to those old Deicide records, that guitar sound.
Oh yeah,
that's what the PV Ultra 120 was. But try to play alternative rock on that thing. It sounded ridiculous.
Yeah, it's too much.
It was just you couldn't get it to have any kind of rock tone whatsoever. Okay. It was stupid, but it's all we had. Like I bought that years before Oil, and then so that's what I.
And I'm surprised it still works.
Well, there it is. The green one, yeah, that's the amp that I had.
Oh yeah,
I recorded Foreign Objects with that and the Oil gold tape with that.
This is a classic amp.
Yeah, it's
Ultra 120.
Oh god, it fucking ripped.
Just the look of it.
It was so fucking heavy when you had that thing cranked all the way.
Just horned up.
Nothing could beat that thing.
Oh, and now you put pedals in front of it. All these modern pedals. Probably sounds nasty now.
I would love
sick,
to know.
dude.
I think a friend of mine has mine. I think I gave it to him.
Yeah, I don't think we said it earlier. I was going to say it, but then I think we went somewhere else. So what's special about what you did, Darren, is there's a magic of not knowing. And right. When I first started talking to you, you said you don't know anything about gear at all. There's just no knowledge about gear.
Nothing.
It's just amp,
plug-in. It used to be embarrassing. Like I'd be like up on stage like, yeah, you just hook that up. I seriously have no idea how to work any of this stuff. I know how to change my strings, and sometimes can't even do that right.
Congratulations. Nice. Wow.
Seriously. I just focus more on the art of it than the technical. Like I like to drive cars, so I use them as tools. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a guitar is a tool to play music. That's how I see it. Now, I know I see other people that love guitars and love like all the vintage ideas and this kind of guitar and this kind of amp and this used to be for this. I just go by what it sounds like. You know, I don't think about all that stuff. It's just a guitar to me, and I use it to write songs. So that's my goal.
I like that. It's sick. But I mean that part. It probably helped you though.
It did, because the benefit of that is if you don't think about that stuff, then it won't impede your progress, and like writing and all that stuff, or you won't get an idea. You won't be completely distracted by what you should have instead of what you have. So I just worked with what I had.
Dude, a lot of guitar players are like that, Darren, especially now.
Good.
I think there's like there's a magic of not knowing what you're doing, and people get overly focused on like new stuff. And I noticed like there's like, well, people aren't really concerned about finding their own sound.
Right, and we have a lot of that's a big problem today.
Yeah,
especially with Pro Tools making every album sound amazing. You got to put something special in there because you're just going to sound like a good. Your songs are going to sound really good.
A good everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what Pro Tools is. That's why we are where we are. Is because when you used to record on 2-inch tape, the album that would come out would reflect how much money you had to spend on it, who you hired to mix it or record it, and then an album would have that personality, whether it was good or bad. As long as the songs were good, you could deal with strange production. But now in Pro Tools, everybody has the time to make everything perfect.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make a perfect sounding album, you better have some good fucking songs on there. And you better have something special in there, some ingredient that makes you stand out from everybody else.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, you got to put yourself in there, dude. Put some soul in
You
that.
have to find out what the hell you are doing and biggest thing on your mind, if there are kids into this, and I don't see a lot of kids playing these days, at least, I don't really look, but I'm sure there are kids that are starting bands. Not many, but metal and rock, because I have 3 kids and they don't know any metalheads. So that scares me. There should be some kids growing up and starting bands and not doing everything on their computer, not doing all their music on the computer. Get together with some friends and find some basement. I'm sure there's some mom my age that would let their kids play in the basement, start a band, and do that. But make it special. Make it not just about what you like. You know, find your own thing. That's basically what I'm talking about. My mouth is so damn dry.
Oh, you freaking down that water, man. Hey, we might need a water refill.
Yeah.
So when you were in the, okay, so we got the pedal, we got the sound. So you're in Bam's basement with Jess just jamming on a 4-track, right? Just...
899 South Concord Road.
Wow.
Yeah, right across the street from the shit factory.
A shit factory?
A shit factory. Quite almost literally.
What's a shit factory?
It was a waste treatment plant. It was where you flush your toilet and your turd goes to the waste treatment center.
Oh, you...
Ryan
really?
Dunn ended up jumping into it later on.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was a waste treatment center, and it would... Thank you so much.
Yeah, I got you. Plastic bottles suck.
I'm going to drink that more sparingly. It's okay to put it here?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so on hot nights, we'd be rehearsing down there in the basement, and that place would get really bad. Like, it would smell really freaking bad. So bad that they'd call the police. And they'd send police out there to make... I don't know how they got it to smell less like shit, but we used to joke, like, let's flush a turd and race it over across the streets.
Wow.
It got ridiculous. But, we played 899 South Concord Road. I'm not doxing anybody because it's online that's where it was.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's where we played for many years. Years. Like, from 96 to... Well, it seemed like years. It's probably only 2 years.
Is this it?
Yes, it looks much different now. Yeah, that's it.
Holy crap.
Yep.
I think they got rid of the shit factory,
Yeah.
Darren.
That right there where you are, those trees right behind there was they got rid of it. How do you get rid of a waste treatment center? Yeah, it's gone. Probably doesn't smell that bad, but I'm telling you, dude, it was awful.
So it was literally across the street.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
That rent must have been cheap, dude. That's why Bam probably had it.
Well, it was his parents' house.
Oh my God. Well, it's probably why they could.
Yeah, there it is.
Wait, is that still?
Yeah. I think that's it. Is that across the street? West Goshen, yeah. That's it.
Sewer Authority. Okay. Screw pump replacement project. This project was financed by a grant from the Commonwealth of PA. West something Sewer Authority. So
Yeah.
I guess maybe still something's there. And it might have to do with shit.
Yeah, and if you turn around, that's the
Dude,
house
let's look
right
and break in on Google. Dude, across the street, that probably smelled terrible.
No, it was horrible during the summer when we rehearsed.
The
It was terrible.
summer, dude.
The winter, we got a break. In the winter, we got a break from it. So we tried to write mostly during the winter.
Just humid.
Just
as
humid
shit.
Pennsylvania heat, humid and heat, and just
Let's go.
just the smell of
That's inspiring, though, right?
farts, like that millions of farts just coming right at you when you're trying to write. That's how we made it through there. Like we had a goal. We had to write songs. And we had all these obstacles, farts coming in. It was horrendous.
What songs did you write down there?
God. All of it. I mean, everything up until our third record, maybe. Yeah. We played every day and up like until sometimes 4 a.m. And the neighbors were really cool with it.
That's awesome.
That's it. Right there by that blue trash can is a door. You open that and it leads to the basement. That door right there.
That one?
leads to
Oh,
the
wow.
basement. You use a screwdriver to open it up and go in. And then April Bam's mother had all this stuff, furniture that she used to paint and resell and stuff. And there was like a tiny little stage that was maybe like half a foot off the ground. And the drums were set up there, and then we would plug everything else in. If we had a third band member, usually it was just me and him, and we would go over riffs and sit there and write stuff. And then sometimes the basement would flood. But our gear was safe because it was on top of the little platform stage usually.
That's why it flooded. So is that why you went to Jess's house and ended up writing another song, correct?
Yeah, like whenever it flooded and we wanted to rehearse, we would bring our stuff into the house. And yeah, one time, maybe more than one time, but we did bring the stuff into the bedroom and practice there, the drums and everything. And that's where I wrote a couple songs in there. 96 Quite Bitter Beings and Knee Deep and
so it was
songs from the first album. Most of them were written in the basement though.
And you both are sober still at this point,
Oh,
correct?
yeah.
Okay, so and the record's written, and 93 Bitter Beans was the last song you wrote.
96 Quite Bitter Beings
96.
was the last song we needed. We had 10 songs. One of them we didn't want to put on there because it sounded too grunge to me, and I was still stinging from the grunge stuff we did with Oil. So we left that off the album because it didn't sound. All the songs on that album sound like different bands, but it's a song called Shippensburg we didn't want to put it on there. So at the end of 98, was it maybe? Yeah, at the end of 98, we were in the bedroom because the basement was flooding, and I just went ban-in-it, ban, ban-in-it, ban, ban-in-it, ban, ban-in-it, just sitting there fiddling with it. And me and Jess had to work that night because we both worked at UPS.
You both were at UPS, and for some reason this particular day you didn't go.
We were loading trucks. We had been there for 3 years, loading trucks after truck after truck. And our boss at UPS knew we were both in a band. So it was really, we wanted to call in sick and finish this song.
Wow.
But if I called in sick and then Jess called in sick, they'd be like, you guys are doing something in the band. So we pretended that we had a car accident.
Oh,
both of us were in a car accident, and we walked over to Nussik's farm, the payphone at Nussik's Farms, and we called in together, like all panicked, like,
story.
We just got in this horrible car accident. Me and Jess, we can't come in. Oh, this is terrible. Oh. Hung up the phone and then went back to writing the song. Yeah.
Did you have to explain to him after?
No.
Because
they probably didn't buy it. I mean,
it's like, oh, they just faked the car accident. Just fucking give them a day off.
Right. Well, we ended up. I mean, it's funny because CKY took off, we ended up leaving that job at different times. I can't remember when he quit or if he got fired, but I was still working at UPS when we did the Vans Warped Tour in '99, and I came back and I didn't have a job.
Oh.
And I was like, all right, shit, so that's how I left UPS. But yeah, calling out sick from UPS is usually, like, because we had shows and stuff that we had to call out for. It started to get on their nerves, but we were in a union and they couldn't fire us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, working at UPS, man, that's tough work.
I can only imagine. So I was curious if when the record was done, like, did you guys think, or did you think like, oh, we need like one more, or it's missing something?
Yeah, I mean, we worked on that album for like 3 years because we kept running out of money. So we would work at UPS, save our paychecks, whatever we could, then write a couple more songs, go in and record that batch. And then there'd be 6 songs. So
that's why the songs sound different.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they were recorded over a 3-year period.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
None of those songs are the same drum setup at all. I don't think.
I was wondering, like, I was telling Jay, man, you should listen to that first record. It kind of takes you on like a journey.
Yeah.
It explains it now.
All of the influences are in there.
Interesting.
Yeah. We never really wanted to fall into we wanted to have our own guitar sound, but we didn't want to have our own sound. We wanted to kind of experiment and explore and write songs based off of all of our inspiration and influences, and that's what the first record is about, pretty much.
Interesting. So that day, are you just like, is it in your head first, or are you just noodling on the guitar and you're just like doing in it?
I didn't see it as like, oh my God, like I just wanted to finish it because we needed one more song. That song doesn't really do much for me. It never really did.
It never did.
No, it was just about, okay, we finally have the last song for this album.
That's all.
That was all it was. And then it became this huge thing because of what happened with later on.
It was no special feeling. It wasn't like, it might be different. Oh, it's a really cool riff. It's just,
I thought it was good because it was the last song we needed. And then we went, and the guy at the studio, his name was Walt. He gave us $100 day where we could come in for $100 and record anything we wanted to. So we recorded like 4 things, and that was one of them. It was during the $100 day. And we just did it. And now that's what I'm known for. And that's what I'm known for, pretty much.
I'm always curious how different bands, different artists write these songs or riffs, and like this, every time I get like a different story. Sometimes it's like, yeah, is this other song? I'm like, wow, there's no feeling, no anything. It's like it's just
there was no like whoa, like it wasn't like that. It was just, and I still see it like that. I just still see it as, okay, it's a good song. It got promotion, you know. If it had been a different song that had gotten the promotion, probably be the same thing. I mean, if a song gets promoted, people hear it. It becomes a hit. You know, it was never a single, funny enough, because we owned the record and we licensed it to our record company.
Oh, makes sense. And then Bam ended up directing the video, correct?
Yes, we did. We've done a lot of music videos, a ton of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. We did that in a warehouse, and I got duct taped to a pole for hours. It's another day I called out of work, too.
Is it really?
To be duct taped to that pole, yeah.
Was this the second accident?
Oh, that's not this video. This is in the same warehouse as the video that we did for To All of You, which is a song on Volume 1. We did a video for that, and most of the film got overexposed. So only a couple seconds from that video lasted, and it's on the end of the first CKY video, the first CKY DVD. But the 96 video was filmed in 2 different times. These guys did their thing, and then we went to the same warehouse and filmed this video. That was fun.
It looks fun, man. Dude, that riff is actually surprisingly really hard to play. It's actually going to be a song I warm up with now.
It is. It's a guitar exercise riff.
Anything that involves one string and up and down,
yeah,
it's always great. I'm always kind of searching for those kind of riffs, and I found one. This week I found one. I'm like, oh shit, I'm starting playing this more often. I could like get my fingers going. So you're gonna help out my band.
It's a warm out. It is a warm up riff. Yeah, and that's
Thank you.
What I'm obsessed with.
Thank you.
Warm up riffs. Yeah.
But
You're welcome.
What did it come quick? Were you jamming for a while, or what? Or did you have like a section you just built out?
It probably just came along as you know, normal riffs do. Any riff. It probably just started out as like. You know, that's probably how it started. And then I probably got bored with that, and I probably went. You know, and then by the end of the day, it's technical and it's difficult, and that's what impressed me about music, is if you can make a progressive piece catchy, hooky. Because I start, you know, as a guitar player, if you're like, songwriters don't care. Like, if you're a songwriter and you write hit songs, you know, you sing like, you know, but I was more about, let's make the music catchy and worry about the words later. You know, the vocal line would come later and the lyrics last. But yeah.
It's a hard riff, dude. Right?
Yeah. You got it. Yeah, come on! With my perceptions in the mix, down 20 miles through the sticks to the cloudy town of Hillview, population 96. I don't know if you want to go all the way through this. And the forward and the night, all the strangers passing through, and where the rules just don't apply. Yeah, and it was always important that you cut those last few notes off dead.
I got it from you. Kill. I got the term from you. Kill. You got to kill the notes.
Kill the notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna steal that term from you.
Because that kind of stuff comes from synthesizers. They piano kills notes right away.
Oh, is that where we got the style from?
Yeah, I mean,
Piano, because you took piano lessons, correct?
yeah, I did, and that didn't go very well. Yeah. Well, I don't know why. I always wanted to play guitar, but my mom stuck me on a piano.
Of course.
And my teacher would give me candy after each lesson, and
That's where
it
you
tasted
went.
like poison. So my parents thought they were poisoning me, and that's how I stopped guitar or piano lessons. But then finally, I got to guitar.
Oh my!
That's how I got to
goodness.
guitar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you started playing when you were 7.
Yeah.
Right.
March 15th, 85.
It's like, is my piano teacher trying to fucking
I think
kill
that's
me?
8. No, my piano teacher, that was before I started taking guitar lessons. My first guitar teacher was the brother of James Ingram, who had that hit song from An American Tail about that mouse.
Okay.
I took lessons with his brother, and I can't believe I don't remember his name, but my first lesson was March 15th, 1985. I know it was March 15, I'm not quite sure. I always remember that. And then I took lessons for many years. Is it Phil Ingram?
Should we smoke cigs?
Yeah, and you want to smoke right now?
Please.
Right here?
Yeah, fuck
Because
it.
I was thinking, oh God, great, I get to go to the bathroom.
No, don't smoke right here, man. Fuck it, dude.
Can we take a break and go to the bathroom?
Oh, you need to piss?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Quick. Oh, we're gonna take a quick break from ripping.
I need to drain it.
Drain it. All right. We haven't taken a break in a while. This is a special occasion. It's not every day I get to smoke a cigarette with Darren.
And likewise.
Pretty cool, man. Pleasure.
Very cool.
Hey, whoops,
I'm having a great time.
We are back.
I have to say, I can't withhold that information.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you.
I'm having a great time.
Me too.
I got to riff with you.
You know, I'm not one of those. You know, I used to be one of those people that would, you know, really not want to do something like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there
Interviews and stuff.
Was there any reason?
Just because, well, not always, but at certain times in the band's career when things weren't going well and there was a lot of interviews coming in because the record company would make you do all this stuff. You just weren't in the mood to do it. And there was so much bullshit going on behind the scenes. How can you get on there and talk about good things? You know, it was hard.
It's hard.
Being in that band was really hard.
I was gonna. That's actually one of my questions, Darren. Is looking back in that era of your life, because I have plenty of regrets with my band. I look back
a ton.
What
Yeah.
what are some like a main one, or what are some regrets you have with CKY?
So many, man. We all made a lot of mistakes. I think one of them was not playing ball with the record company. Not playing ball with anybody, really. But I wouldn't call that a regret because it became what it became. It is what it is. I mean, with the internet and how people talk about us now, how we were, it's kind of cool in a sense, I guess you would say. But yeah, we did a lot of things wrong. But for me, like heading towards mainstream success was really scary and awkward. I didn't like it.
Yeah, because you don't even like traveling.
No, I didn't. I still don't know. I don't. I'm afraid of getting on planes. I'm that kind of person that I've been everywhere and I don't care. I don't appreciate it, and that makes me feel guilty sometimes because there are people that would just love to leave.
Yeah.
And you know,
I
like
get it.
I don't even know where I've been. You know, I don't even pay attention to that stuff, and there are people that would love to be able to do that. And yeah, I don't like traveling. Airplanes scare the shit out of me. Yeah, so just a lot of regrets, a lot of mistakes, a lot of weird shit happened.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys, you guys fucking took off, dude.
Yeah.
And we all heard that song. I think that's part of my last question with that era. Like what happened? Like when, I'm sure it was the help of BAM, but like how did that, when your song was on Jackass and it was just everywhere?
Yeah.
Like what happened?
Well, basically what happened is the whole idea and concept of not wanting to be just a band. And we, you know, being at that house and rehearsing in that basement, so many people would come through there. Skaters, all of our friends would come to hang out and watch us rehearse.
Yeah.
And you know, we were the kids that there they are, there we are. We were the kids in high school that hung out in the lobby of the school while all the meatheads and cheerleaders were doing their thing. We all, you know, got together and found each other. We were people that wanted to do creative things. And we would spend so much time together and film stuff. And it was just basically a way of saying, how do we turn this into one thing? Music and recording stuff. And I forget what I was going to say. Oh, there was a video called Jump Off a Building that we had a segment in. I never cough. Of course I'm coughing. It was called Jump Off a Building.
Special occasion. And there was a segment on there where one of our songs was used. And it became one of the most popular segments on the video. It was BAM's 5-minute segment of skating. This is annoying. And we got a lot of mail, snail mail. Snail mail?
Snail mail, you know.
What's that?
Fan mail and envelopes.
It's called snail mail?
Yeah, like when, you know, using an envelope and a stamp, they call it snail mail.
Oh, okay. Now I know.
Yeah, just post office stuff.
Okay.
We're getting a lot of mail about that song and that part of the video. And, you know, BAM was like 15 or 16. I was 19, whatever. And I was like, why can't you get the people that made the Jump Off the Building video to give you money to make our own video if they love that so much?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden we did. And I think it was Rob Erickson that started it with, I can't remember the skate company. Landspeed, that's right. So Landspeed gave us the money to do our own video. And we were going to be the soundtrack to it. So that's what Jackass became. We didn't use Jackass. Jackass used us. And they pretty much combined what we were doing on the East Coast with what Knoxville and Steve-O were doing on the West Coast. And then MTV compacted both of them and used footage from our first video to make like the pilot episode. So yeah, I think I don't know what that is. It looks familiar. But
Interesting.
that's how it happened. And we just said, well, let's make a video with we'll do the soundtrack. You guys film skate tricks and skits, and then we'll put out our own video.
But since you came up with the CKY, was it some kind of like agreement to where like it could be like a CKY crew?
Like, you mean a professional agreement on paper? No,
it's more like hey.
It was a verbal agreement, pretty much. I think we did scroll something down on a pizza box once, but no, it was pretty much understood that all of our friends, anybody that wanted to be involved in this, would be a part of CKY. So it was. I don't think it's been done since. I mean, it's just a band and their friends that do funny shit.
Yeah.
And we do the soundtrack.
Okay.
And that lasted like 3 videos, and then we kind of started to break apart.
Sure. Growing up, we're all
and we
partying.
had record company wanting us to do this while those guys were doing that. It
Sure.
just, they were doing Jackass, we were doing touring, and it didn't stay what it was. But I don't think it could have. It was something that was fleeting from the moment it started. In a way, I see it that way.
You're on a completely other trajectory. Like I was fucking blasting off, dude.
Yeah, it was a weird way to start, but it was always part of the whole idea that I don't want to be in just a band. I want to do something that, like Kiss, they have amusement parks, merch, stickers, pinball machines, like all that cool stuff.
So you had goals.
Oh yeah.
Would you consider yourself a ambitious person?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Single-minded of purpose, maybe. Not so much now.
What does that mean?
Well, one-track mind.
Okay.
As far as eating and sleeping, the rest of my day was just focusing on that goal. And
you're just fucking focused.
When you have it, you have it.
It's true.
And I've seen kids today that have that, but they don't know how to express it because they're not really encouraged that much by their parents. And it's hard to get around the parents when they don't want you to be doing what you're doing.
Yeah. You kind of with your parents, you kind of have to show them. Hey, this is. I mean, we play this venue in our hometown. There's fucking 300 people there. Something's happening.
Right. And it's
you kind of have to show them. Hey, mom and dad, come out to the show.
That's what did it. You're absolutely right. Because when they would come see us at a tiny dive bar, like I can't even think of these names. We'd play places in Philly, all of them. Doc Watson's was one that I'm talking about. We would play at Doc Watson's, and my parents went to that one, and they were like, "Wow, this is what he's been doing." We got paid like $50. We were nobodies. Yeah. But then, like, we have a video on MTV, and they have no idea anything about it. So everything is like really local for them. And like my aunt cut out.
Is that it?
Doc Watson. Yep.
Is this it?
That's it. And my aunt cut out a local article in a Philadelphia newspaper where our album was reviewed. But never mind like the article and like you know what I mean? But since it was a hometown article, it was like the most important. She had it framed, and I still have it in my garage. I need to get it fixed. But that's what's funny about family. Like they don't look outside of the hometown for anything. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain.
That's true.
But, my parents seeing me at Doc Watson's, it's like, oh, that's what he was talking about. That's what he wants to do. But that's not anywhere near where we wanted to be. We wanted to be, what we became, I guess.
Get out of the town, get out of the state, get out of the country.
Right. Get out of the country, go on tour, which was something I was terrified of. I had trouble sleeping when I moved out of my parents' house in with my girlfriend. It scared the hell out of me. I'm not going to be in my own bed. It just freaked me out.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even travel from my parents' house to my girlfriend's house in Westchester. So imagine me touring around in an RV, with a bunch of beer drinking guys from Volcom, and it was just really, really strange. But the more I did it, the easier it got, of course. We were on tour a lot during those days. During the first record, we were crashing a lot of festival. Well, we crashed Warped Tour.
Yeah. In
2000, under a different name. We played under a different name after they kicked us off. That was fun. Yeah, they kicked us off because one of the venues on the Warped Tour was charging like 35% for merch.
Oh, didn't you make CDs specifically for that tour?
Yeah, we toured a lot of times. There's Warped Tour 99, and I'm getting them mixed up. Warped Tour 99, I think we played without a problem. Because we were part of the Volcom stage. Volcom had their own stage.
Oh, okay.
There's other bands on there like The Line, which Ryan Emigart from Volcom, who found us from the video, got us hooked up with Volcom clothing.
Nice.
And a band called Bueno, and a bunch of bands were on the Volcom stage. And we played 99 without a problem, I think. But then on the 2000 Warped Tour is when we came up and had an issue with the venue was just ripping off bands. Like, we're working hard enough. You want to take our merch money now? And it's just like, and venues
it's always
do
been
that.
An issue. It's always been that way.
It's not cool. Like, why do venues need your merch money? I mean, come on. We're trying to survive here, and you want our merch money?
How about we get some of the bar money?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they wouldn't want to make that deal. Believe me.
Man, they just fucking squeeze out every little fucking bit, dude. Anything they could squeeze out of an artist.
By the time, when you're on tour, by the time,
out.
exactly, every single penny they can. By the time you get done, what you have left is like. But yeah, we were touring a lot, and then we got the Guns N' Roses tour, which was fun.
You guys toured Guns N' Roses?
Yeah.
That's why you guys started drinking.
No, we were drinking way before that.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. The drinking thing I started drinking a lot of beer on the 99 Warped Tour. I think that's when I fell off the wagon. Well, I never rode the wagon, but that's when I started.
So first record is out, and that's when.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I couldn't bear being on tour. It was so scary. I started drinking.
I did the same thing.
Drinking. Yeah, it's scary.
I did the same thing. After like a year, I was like, oh, no, I'm just going to start. My first drink was 2 weeks before my 21st birthday. So it was probably my third tour. So it just happens. You start, I'll have one drink.
Yeah.
And then you're drunk.
Yeah.
And then you're getting your first mixed drink, and then you're doing shots. It happens quick, dude.
It does. It's a circle, it's a snowball effect.
Yeah. It was debauchery for a good 5 years straight.
Yeah.
It was
same here. 10 years. It was just unbelievable things happening.
I can imagine Guns N' Roses though. Jeez.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Is this one of the flyers?
That is, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Mixmaster Mike.
HP Pavilion.
Yeah. We did that tour. Guns N' Roses played 17 shows. We did 18.
Oh my gosh.
We got to headline our hometown arena, and Guns N' Roses didn't play.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we played Madison. Happened? We played sold out Madison Square Garden, and then the next night we played the First Union Center in Philly. I had friends and family in the audience, and I knew that Guns N' Roses wasn't there, so I had to somehow get in touch. This is before good cell phones. I had to get in touch with people in the audience and tell them to leave because I knew there was going to be a riot. Yeah, and they destroyed like a multi-million-dollar soundboard. That place went nuts.
Oh my goodness,
yeah.
dude.
But we played that show and they didn't. So we played 18 and they played 17 of their own tour. And the first one they canceled. And we had to make it all the way up to Canada.
Why'd they cancel?
I don't know.
Wow.
I still don't know.
Still having diarrhea or something?
I don't know.
Diarrhea?
I don't know. You know, people always have said weird shit about Axl and rumors and stuff, and none of it is true. He's the coolest fucking guy ever. Such a great guy. And it really bothered me because there were websites like Metal Sludge and stuff like that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we won't even name them.
Yeah, they wanted us to. Yeah. And there was a lot of stuff going on about Axl. I'm sure there still is. But he was the coolest guy ever. To pick us, first of all,
it's true.
Was so cool. You know, he could have gotten any record company. And what's funny is the record company tried to get us to not do it.
Why?
Because they wanted another one of their bands to do it.
Oh my goodness.
But they tried to make it sound unappealing for us so that we wouldn't do it and they could get somebody else. They were really tricky that way. They were sneaky, that Island Records.
Hey, this Guns N' Roses tour. Arena tours aren't fun. I mean, you guys won't have a good time, so just don't do it.
They were right, exactly. Wow. Or no, they're has-beens. Why would you want to do that?
Oh my!
That's what they said. And it was us against 7 other bands, and he picked us, and we were on our.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, we were on our way home from San Diego. We had just toured for like 2 months.
Oh, that sucks.
It was like the last 2 shows, and we had to cancel them to get our asses up to Canada. It was almost impossible, and we made it, and then they don't show up.
So was it like a last-minute thing?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the tour's happening fucking...
We were on the tour bus, and our tour manager was waiting for the phone call that we either didn't get the tour or that we did. And I'm like, oh, we're going home. We just toured for 2 months. We're not going to get the tour with Guns N' Roses. We had 2 shows left in Anaheim and San Diego, I think. And we got the call. We're on. And we told the bus driver, Go north. We have to
What
be in
the
Canada tomorrow.
fuck?
All that work driving, getting into Canada, customs and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
so-
and they don't show up. We were told 15 minutes, guys. That's how close it was. You guys are on in 15 minutes, and we had just driven from the airport, rushing to try to get to our time to go on stage. And we got there, and we were all like, and they're like, guys, you got 15 minutes. And we're like, whew. And then they're like, show's canceled. And then Kurt Loder from MTV interviewed us, and there was a riot out there. We're just riots. The front and the front and the back of that tour are just riots.
Dude, that's kind of sick.
It was fun. It was a fun tour. It was cool playing
cool, man.
arenas. It was a different experience playing arenas.
Dude, you dream about that when you're a child, man.
Yeah.
And then you have your band is like, I think we could do this.
Yeah.
And then when you're in an arena, you're like, what the? It always should have happened. I guess I'm not that insane.
Because you're actually putting on a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're playing an arena, you can't see people in the audience, so you have to play the show not knowing whether or not the people are into it.
Yeah,
Whereas
you
in a
gotta fucking move.
small venue, you see everybody and you interact with the crowd and all that.
Yeah.
But in an arena, it's really strange. I'm sure you've played in an arena before.
Yeah,
It's weird.
It's weird. Yeah, you learn, and then you take that throughout your whole career.
Yeah.
How to play like a big stage is different, then you transfer it over to everywhere else.
It's really
right?
different. I mean, festival shows during the day, I'm not a big fan of because I don't think rock and roll should happen during the day. It's kind of silly to wake up at 11 a.m. and go on stage.
Start rocking, dude.
Come on. But festival shows, arena shows, indoor arenas, and clubs, they're totally different experiences. I love them all, but I like to play smaller venues and interact with the audience.
Do you know it's something that would drive me insane that happened to you? So your third record was a fucking disaster,
Yeah,
right?
I know where you're going.
Yeah, So
Yeah.
when I was just like listening, I was like, if that I don't know what I would do if it happened to me. I just don't know. So the third record, yeah, an answer can be found.
An answer can be found.
So it's done, right? It's done, and then the last day.
Not to mention, don't forget to mention that we busted our asses on it and spent a lot of money.
Okay.
4th Street Recording in Santa Monica.
In Santa Monica, yes, and then so obviously it's still on a major, and it spent a lot of money and time.
Yes.
And then so the engineer the last day didn't back up the hard drives, and
Never.
And it was gone.
I guess you're supposed to do it every day that you record. You're supposed to like back it up onto a drive or something. I don't know. But something happened. Basically, I don't know if this is figuratively speaking or not, but apparently it melted. I don't know, but I don't know if literally it melted. I think maybe that might have been just the way they explained it to me. But the drive or whatever held way too much information and just broke or something. And the whole album was gone. And when I got that phone call, I'll never forget. Me and my wife were in bed. We were watching All in the Family on DVD.
At 4 a.m.?
4 a.m., Chad calls me and says, dude, our album's gone. And I was like, because we had just worked so hard on it. And I thought it was like some kind of prank. And he said, no, I'm not kidding. That's his voice, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean erase? Because we did half 2-inch tape, half Pro Tools. We did it on 2-inch tape, then downloaded into Pro Tools.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say his name, but I want to. So I shouldn't say his name, but I want to so bad. The guy that did it. But Chad said, I'm going to the studio right now to kill him. And I get up out of bed, and I put my clothes on, and I head over to 4th Street to prevent a murder because he was going to kill the guy.
I don't know what I would do, man.
It was unbelievable. So the next, all we could do was, okay, we have this huge problem. How do we fix it? So we ended up hiring
like a data retriever that specializes in emails and texts.
Yeah,
right?
like FBI shit. Like I don't know. Like I just was told certain things. I don't know what's true or not. But this was like a data recovery company that was, I think, had once at one point worked with the FBI to recover data that was erased or whatever. We hired them, and we ended up getting the album back in pieces,
Like a fucking
like
puzzle.
a puzzle. Like Picture like a 5,000 piece puzzle, totally done, and then just getting it back, thrown up in the air, all broken apart, and you had to put it back together again. We went to Sony Studios without telling the label. We flew to Sony Studios, and they helped. They sat there and pieced it back together again. And every time I listen to that album, that's all I hear. Some stuff had to be re-recorded. Some of the parts that we got back together were bad takes.
Oh no.
That we had to use. It was a nightmare. It was.
That will make me want to quit the band.
Yeah, it was bad. It caused one of the gray hairs on my head.
Oh my goodness.
I
dude.
forget the engineer's name, and I feel really bad. He was at Sony Studios. He saved our asses. I can't remember what his name was. I shouldn't I?
So Chad, he produced the first three, right? And
yeah,
so
we co-produced.
Okay, yeah, you co, and then you have an engineer.
Yeah, and Island, it was cool. They let us produce our own records.
That's a ballsy move.
Well, it was, they knew they had to sign us. They just didn't know why. Who is that? Pablo Araya. Yeah, that guy saved our fucking asses.
Wow.
Yeah, he put that fucking thing back together again. And
shout out Pablo.
Yeah, thank you, Pablo.
That's my dad's name. It's awesome.
Thank you for bringing that up, Jerry. Shout out to Pablo.
How long did that take to? So you get the mess. How long did it take to start?
Months.
Months? Oh my god!
Because being so Luddite, I didn't have to do anything except sit there and wait and worry, panic. It was panic for like a month. Mm-hmm. Nothing but panic, because we were expected to, update people. The manager. I don't even think our manager knew. I can't remember who knew.
Wow.
But yeah, secretly we're in Sony Studios panicking. And you know what's the funniest thing ever? And this says a lot about weird human behavior.
Yeah.
The audacity. The engineer who erased the album called us while we were at Sony Studios asking if he could get paid for the time. Can you believe that? Yeah. The balls it takes to call and ask to get paid.
Oh my goodness.
For the time you spent erasing a huge $100,000 record?
Yeah, that cost you more.
I can't think of an analogy. I mean, I can't. It's like babysitting. If I babysitted your kid and smacked him around, and then you send me to jail, I get arrested and sent to jail, and then from prison I call you and I'm like, yo, can I get paid for babysitting? It's like, it doesn't make sense. It was like, what? You have to be kidding.
Oh,
that guy was weird, and I'm sure some people know who he is. They can say his name. I won't say his name.
Good call. Good call. You don't have to. I don't know what I would do, man.
It's just one of the many gray hairs on my head. Believe me, it was not easy being in that. It's not easy being in a band.
No.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You have some issues, right?
Of course.
They're burned there. They're in there.
They are burned forever, dude.
Mm-hmm.
All those mistakes, and even and then the ones that are worse are like that. It's when you work so hard to something and then it doesn't pan out, or you get like the reverse effect. Like how did that go wrong?
Right.
You work hours and
it's
spent all this money, months, and then the way it comes together, you're like, what the hell just happened?
It's nothing what you expected. What the hell do you do? I mean, yeah, we could have just quit, but it was more like, we have this problem, let's solve it. Mm-hmm. And that in the end it works out because it gives you a new part of your character. If there's a problem, you solve it.
Yeah.
You don't quit and whine like a little bitch.
Yeah.
Which,
true.
I've had a lot of quitters in my life. But, you keep going. Band members leave. You keep going. You get new ones.
You keep going, learning. It does build your character, unfortunately.
Makes you stronger, yeah.
It does.
The worst part, unfortunately, is you have to go through that shit. But once it gets behind you, you're good to go. You've experienced the worst possible thing that can happen to a band, and you can move on.
And then when sometimes that happens, like it'll like manifest sometimes, like your anger, you just like suppress it, and they'll just pop up in like other areas of your life. Oh shit, I gotta process this, man.
Mm-hmm.
It happened. I can't fucking change it. Stuff. Mm-hmm. It's always. I actually have it on a postage note on my computer. Don't be a bitch. It's just like I don't know.
Oh, you should photocopy that. I have a few people I'd like to give that to. Jesus Christ.
It's terrible, man.
Yeah, that was bad.
It's terrible. Hey, Jay, pull up their second record.
Infiltrate.
Yeah, I want to end this little segment on a high note. No, pull up their track listing. Close. Okay. Close yet far. That's my favorite riff.
Riff?
Yeah.
Is there a riff in that song? You mean the guitar work?
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. There we go.
I love that riff, dude.
Really? You think? To me, it's just part of a good song. It's interesting you call it a riff. I guess it's a riff. G string has to be in good tune. There you go. Two, three, four. Who said that I wasn't right? I've lived for years without a life. Don't have a soul on my side. Still ridiculed despite how hard that I have tried. Don't take me under your way. Don't need a hand, don't need anything. I've got a roof over my head, as if I'd rather be alone with me instead. Close yet far. It's just that the whole time.
I love that, dude.
I appreciate that. I'm not a big fan of it.
You're not?
No. I think some people know that. It's, we weren't going for a single. Probably should have been a single. But, well, my dad thought so. He got in a fight with our A&R guy in New York City. That should be on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
And he's on the phone, like, listening to my dad. It was just funny. That was really funny. What is that venue in New York City? It's like 2,200.
I think it's in the square, right? It's like in the city. It's changed from Palladium to Best Buy Theater to
maybe
what else is it? What else?
It's where Ozzy played on Speak of the Devil. I think.
PlayStation Theater. It was a PlayStation Theater at some point. I think it's the spot you're talking about. It's like it's like in Times Square.
Not the Ritz.
Ritz?
No, it's not the Ritz, but it's something like that. What is that venue? Shit. Not Gramercy either.
Gramercy. Oh, Irving Plaza?
Yeah, there you go. Irving Plaza, yeah.
Okay.
That's where my dad yelled at the guy saying that song should be on the radio. He was probably right. Because it would have been nice to have like a shot like that, to have like that song. We made a video for it. It could have been released as a single, but I think the label said at the time that it would ruin what we looked like or whatever. Or do you want to have a career? Do you want to?
Oh God.
Yeah, they did a lot of stuff to keep us down. Like keep us where we are. Don't get any bigger. We won't let you get smaller. We won't let you get bigger. It was really weird. There was weird shit going on there, but
man.
You know, we fought for this stuff.
You gotta fight, dude. One thing I learned, man, throughout my career, sometimes you gotta fight for shit.
Yeah.
You gotta say it, and then you gotta say it again and again.
And again and again, and they'll try to make it sound like, you know, it's not important, or it's not going to happen, or, you know, they don't hear you. And then, I mean,
I'm surprised you said that about that song, because you ended up doing it again on your solo record.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I did that acoustic record, I had to do pretty much all mellow songs just to fill the record.
Okay.
But I don't hate it. I just don't. It's not one of my favorite songs. I think it's because there were so many different renditions of it. There was an oil version of that song.
Was there really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we demoed it so many times, and
Oh, wow.
it was just like it had a different vocal line, it had different lyrics, it went through so many different stages. And it's such a simple song. As a musician, it's not really interesting to play, but it's fun to do live at the end of a show.
Yeah.
And everybody's singing along. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Then I saw it on the set list as last.
Yeah, always.
Like
even when we play now, we do it last.
I saw it with your recent set list. Oh, they're playing it now. He must love that song.
Yeah. Well, I love that the fans love it.
Oh, okay.
It's all about them.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I don't care if they tell me, you know, if it's people want to hear certain songs, we'll play them. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
Why would I want to play my favorite songs? There's songs that people don't want to. People want to hear. People don't want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's all about. It's all about the fans.
It's great that you're able to at least have that logo. You know.
Yeah, it's funny that that happened. The Ozzy logo happened when it was designed, and we were doing one of those late night TV shows, which I was always like, "This is where we're going. Like, this is what mainstream is. We're on late night with Carson Daly. It just didn't work. It was weird." But Ozzy was the guest, and
dope.
Carson Daly or Craig Kilborn, I forget which one, gave him a copy of Answer Can Be Found and noticed that our logo looked like his on the show. And he's like, you mind if can I keep this? And we were like, oh, shit. Oh, Sharon's going to see it and we're going to get sued.
We're fucked.
Yeah, because it was a tribute to Ozzy
to
have that. And because you can't not love Ozzy.
Yeah.
Ozzy was...
Well, where did Ozzy get the logo from?
We just manipulated the Ozzy logo into, we used the O and made it into a C. An early incarnation of the CKY logo actually had the little serif from the O. Everybody thought it was Eki. So we took out that middle piece.
Oh, yeah.
And, we just used the Y and the K. And that we have two logos. Another one was kind of like just a standard font. But that's the one that stuck.
It's stuck, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's great that 96 Bitter Beans can have that logo too. Mm-hmm. Can you trademark a logo?
No.
I
but I don't know if this still is the rule. Legally, you can use anything that's trademarked as long as you change 5 things about it.
5 things.
So if I took your picture,
and
wanted to make a T-shirt of you, and if I just moved your nose a little bit up, and took off, the Fu Manchu part here, and maybe made your hair like if I changed 5 things, you wouldn't be able to have a problem with it. Legally, you would have a problem with it, but not legally.
Yeah. Okay.
So we found that out because we used Carrie on a shirt. From the movie Carrie, we made a
movie.
Carrie.
Okay.
The Stephen King movie.
Oh, okay.
We made a shock and terror shirt, and we used Carrie at the end of the prom when she's all bloody, and we were like, "Are we going to get sued for this?" And our merch company said, "No, we'll just change a couple colors and move a couple things around. You can do it."
5 things. Okay, I'm gonna keep that in my brain. 5 things.
5 things. That's what it was back then. I just remember that 5 things. Alter 5 things about any picture, and you can use it.
Okay. Well, I learned something new. That's pretty important to know.
Don't quote me on it. Nobody actually used that advice because it's probably not right anymore.
If someone said something to me, well, my lawyer said. My lawyer. Darren Miller said that.
Well, Darren Miller said it, so it must be true.
I mean,
no. I remember things in pieces and fragments.
Well, it's great. It's great you can't trademark the logo. You know, Bam can't take that. You know.
Right.
It's great.
Because it's Ozzy anyway.
I was wondering,
Still Ozzy.
Where did Ozzy get it?
From some genius. I have no idea who designed Ozzy's logo.
I
He's a genius, whoever he is.
I wonder, man. I wonder.
Ozzy was really important. I mean,
Now, what for you? The three was Zeppelin, Kiss, and
no Zeppelin.
no
No AC/DC, no Aerosmith.
Leopard. Sorry.
Def Leppard.
Yes. Sorry.
Def Leppard, definitely. Ozzy, Kiss.
Yeah.
Blue Oyster Cult. Then I want to shout out to Anthony from Malaya Rage, an 80s thrash band that should have been much bigger than they were. That guy, huge influence on me.
Well, shout out then.
Malaya Rage was like probably one of the best thrash bands of the late 80s. They were signed to Epic, so they had a lot of exposure, but didn't take off because a lot of people didn't like that they didn't pay their dues. Like they played like 4 shows and got signed, and that was a huge problem. Like everybody in the industry had a huge problem with that.
Why?
I don't know.
It's like, well, it
But
happens.
I guess like
That's it.
they wouldn't go. They couldn't get big tours because bands would be like, that band just got together. You know? Yeah. But their album,
sick.
Solitary Solitude, man, is one of the best thrash albums.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, our listeners and watchers can have a new band and jam.
Yeah, there you go. Malaya Rage. That's Kill to Survive, their first record.
Okay, so this is thrash, Darren.
It's like heavy metal.
Okay.
It's not. It's like power metal, but without the
Okay.
Yeah, it's like riff metal. It's not fast. It's just really good. That's all I can say. But they were a huge influence on me. And yeah, Ozzy, I loved. My brother had Diary of a Madman, and my brother doesn't like metal, so I don't know how he ended up with that album. But I used to spin that while I was listening to Kiss and starting to find out about other bands and stuff. Death, Cancer, all these weird bands I found out about that had huge influence on what we were doing.
Do you like Kiss now more than you used to? Because when I get older, sometimes I get.
Who's your favorite band?
Korn.
Korn is?
Yeah, I'll get like obsessed.
How old are you?
39.
Okay, yeah, so
I
got 10 years on you.
Nice.
So you found out about Korn, and then who did you like before Korn?
I'm 12 at this point. 12 like 11. So I was like, just listen to my mainstream stuff, like I don't know, Michael Jackson or something like.
Oh, Michael Jackson is
still
love him.
Still, it came, but like when you don't find your music yet, you just know music.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess for you it's different. You were fucking 2.
I was too. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's so early.
It's funny how people are like, "There's no way you remember that." I do. I remember that. But you found out about Korn. Was Korn all you listened to?
Honestly, for a while, yeah.
So how obsessed were you?
I was obsessed.
Were you trying to get in touch with them? Writing letters?
No.
Okay, you didn't go that far. But when Korn put out every album, you were there the day of?
Yeah.
Okay, did they ever put out an album you were disappointed in?
Not till later. I was older.
So do you like Korn more now or than before?
I think now.
Because there's more of a catalog for you to go.
There's more catalog. Things mean more. Now they have things to compare it to.
Right.
And obviously, when you're lacking inspiration, you can't redo your childhood. Right. So you always go back to the records. And oh shit! And you get reminded, and then you're re-inspired. So you only go back to your childhood. You can't redo it. So you have your selection of bands and eras that you had that you could kind of reawaken. Right. And it takes certain records, certain songs, certain sections.
So in your mind back then, like Korn could do no wrong.
Yeah.
But now that you're older, you look back on those albums that influenced you so much and you say, how come I liked that part so much?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Once you get more experience, you start to look over it with a different lens.
Totally.
So your question, do I like Kiss more now?
Yeah.
No, because I don't even need to listen to their albums because I can listen to them right now. If I just shut my eyes.
It's true.
I can hear it perfectly, those records.
Especially if you're really high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dude, I was jamming. So you have a song coming out like this week, correct?
A song? No. Do we? Oh, yeah. Duh. See?
Thanks, man. I was like, did he just fool me?
Yeah.
I got some intel.
We did a playthrough video for 96 Quite Bitter Beans.
Okay.
And people have been, I've done it before, but like on not really telling anybody about it. But my current lineup, my new lineup, which I have to do a shout out to Cam DeWald, who set me up with you. Shout out to Cam. That guy is badass. He's band Gorgatron. He's our new bass player.
Thanks, Cam.
And
appreciate it, man.
Tyler Sturgill from the band Zoth.
That's a band
guitar player.
That's a band name.
It is XOTH. It's badass. But yeah, we did a playthrough video. Cam superimposed in there.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks real. It looks like we're all in the same photo, doesn't it? Kind of, but it isn't.
Oh, you guys aren't in the same photo?
No, none of us are together.
Okay, sick.
I'm in California.
I know.
Thomas, our drummer, he's in Finland.
You shouldn't have said anything.
I know. I should have kept it a secret. Yeah, but we have to add one more guy to that photo. And these guys, I'm sticking with till the end. I'm going to shoot myself in the fucking skull. I'm tired of lose lineups all the time.
I feel you, man. It's tough to keep the same bunch of people, man.
These days,
it's tough, dude.
Yeah, it's really bizarre what some musicians think still happens in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, when we signed with Nuclear Blast, our bass player at the time asked me, "Well, I'd like to see the contract because I'd have to have me and my lawyer look it over." I'm like, "Contract, dude, this is not 1998. This is a fucking 2-page memo pretty much saying, here's a very small amount of money, give us a record." Like, why? What are you talking about? The record contracts are not 80 pages long anymore, dude. It's a memo. It just says, make a record, here's some money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just trying to
it's a memo.
Communicate this shit to them. It's just, they don't get it. You have to, and these guys get it. So mark my words, this new lineup that I have, if these guys bail on me, I'm done. Because that means that there's no one out there I can work with.
Yeah.
So they know what's going on, though. They
good
know what the fuck's up.
Well, I hope during with age you have like a maturity and you guys get along.
Yeah.
And learn to coexist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I work really hard at that. Yeah, raising 3 kids and figuring out that not everybody does the right thing all the time, and the difference between right and wrong. You don't always do the right thing, though. I mean, that's what you learn when you're raising kids, is that you have to understand that they have no idea what they don't know. So that's part of the job. And then band members are sometimes worse. They have no idea what they don't know. And you have to either teach them and it works out, or they can't handle it and they bail.
Mm. Yeah, you got to speak their language.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
If they learn how to speak it. But yeah, we did a playthrough video of that. And that's going to be really cool.
When's this dropping?
When is it dropping, Matt?
Next week.
Next week. Okay, so this drops on Monday. So we're talking next. So if you're listening to this on Monday, it's going to drop probably in 5 days on Friday, correct? Because songs usually drop on Friday.
Yeah, hopefully. This is just, we're doing a playthrough. It actually marks it helps commemorate and celebrate the re-release of Tony Hawk's skater. What is that called?
Tony Hawk 4?
Tony Hawk 3 or 4?
3 and 4.
I should know this stuff, right? Pro Skater 3.
That's a massive game, dude. Oh,
yeah. So we got a lot of exposure on that thanks to him, too. Yeah, he picked us to be on that. That was really cool.
Oh, yeah, July 11th, 2025.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
Oh, and what's really, and I didn't even realize this for a long time, is how much people love playthrough videos.
Dude, you got to get on that.
My Instagram was fucking flying when I started doing those videos. It was crazy. I had no idea. Like, do people that don't play guitar want to watch that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You learn something new all the time.
I'm not sure if you know this, Darren, but you're a guitar player, and that's why people follow you.
I know.
So you do the thing that just natural, but it's good. It's just natural. Just I'm gonna plug in my crate. I'll jam a riff, but for you, it says here just playing guitar, but someone else doesn't get to see that every day, so it's new for them.
Right.
You know.
So that's hard for me to understand because this is such like an extra part. It's like a tumor, the guitar. It's been an extra part of my body.
It's a tumor? That's
pretty much. Well, I mean,
never.
What's a positive term for growth?
That's a sick term.
A twin. It's a Siamese part of me.
Yeah.
We could write something right now, man.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Yeah. I was just looking. So today, I don't know what my issue is, but I've been dropping pics like the whole freaking thing. Jay, can you hand me?
Here's one.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
All right. So, what kind of song do you want to write?
I like simple.
You like simple?
I like catchy, and I like it to come from you.
Okay. It's actually cool to hold out that chord. Yeah. There's your verse. Then you do your chorus. There you go. There you go.
That was kind of a sick chorus.
See? We wrote a song. We'd be able to copyright that right now.
We just had a verse and a chorus.
Yeah. It took 3 minutes.
Honor, Darren. That's fucking sick, dude.
That's a lot of fun to do that shit.
I love with the octave, when you do the power chorus, it just sounds like massive.
Yeah.
Sounds huge, dude.
never get to play with sounds like this, so I'm like,
oh, great.
So stoked about it.
Dude, how did you get the Malevolent Creation gig?
Oh, Christ's sake.
Because you sang for them for like 2 years, right?
Yeah.
People will kill me if I don't bring it up.
I know. It was something that was eventually going to have to come up. No, I was friends with Brett Hoffman, their singer.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
He passed away in 2018 from a cancer, right?
Yeah.
He was only 51. Man.
I know. He
That's
found
sad.
out he had stage 4 colon cancer. And one of the times he was out of Malevolent, he had a band called Down the Drain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 2000.
Mm-hmm.
He had just done a record with them and with Malevolent, and then left to form a band called Down the Drain. And we took them out on tour for like 2 weeks.
Nice.
And me and Brett, we talked like online and stuff, but that's when we first really got to hang out for 2 weeks. And those guys were fun, but touring with him was cool because he knew more about touring than I did because he had been doing it for so long. But we became really good friends because we had the same sense of humor.
Yeah.
We were interested in the same things, and I loved his work, and his lyrics had a huge influence on my lyrics.
Yeah.
Huge. Just the words he used and how he explained things and told stories and stuff, and I really gravitated to that. And we just became closer and closer, and we played jokes on each other. One time I pretended I was dead, and he believed it, and it's like, oh, better get somebody like Harry. And I was like, blah! It scared the shit out of him. But just touring with him for those 2 weeks was awesome, and he was with us at the Christmas show, and he got to meet Phil in April, and he was a big fan of Phil, and yeah, we were just friends forever. And then one day we were talking, and he's like, one day you're gonna have that job, my job singing for them. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, one day. I was like, yeah, that would be cool, but you're in the band, you do the band.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, him passing made it kind of happen. I mean, it was cool.
Fuck. Wow.
And it's funny because the 2 years that I was in Malevolent, which is the last 2 years, from like 23 or 22, 24 or something like that, I was so sick, dude. I had the worst depression of my life. Like,
Really?
It was soul crushing. It's the only way I can describe it. I mean, chunks of my hair were falling out. Like, it was bad, really bad. And I was just drinking more to numb it.
Oh, no.
And then the drinking made
Terrible
it worse.
Cycle.
Yeah. It was a catch-22 situation. There was no good end to it. So I was like, I got to get the fuck out of this house. I got to go on tour. So I did 5 weeks with 96, and I came home, and I think I had about 8 hours to get on the plane to go meet up with the Malevolent guys, and we did not rehearse. The first thing we did was get on stage in a festival in Italy. I think it was Italy. It was a festival, our first show. Never having played together, we played like acoustically, like.
Yeah, you didn't. They didn't even have an amp for you, huh?
No. Well,
Crazy.
no. It was weird. Like, we were playing kind of acoustically, and that was it. It didn't really count as a rehearsal, but just got up there and just did it, and it was fine. I mean, if you know a song,
and they know the song,
and if Jerry knows a song, you know a song. If we're gonna play God of Thunder or something, we get up and play it. It sounds like.
True.
So, yeah, and that illness just was following me everywhere. I was sleeping so fucking much. I could not stay awake, and with just trying to dive into being in both bands, and I don't really even know like what happened, how I ended up not still being in Malevolent Creation. I might still be. I mean, I really don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was fired online while I was on the tour, and it didn't make sense to me because, Phil, the guitar player, he wasn't doing very well either.
Mm-hmm.
So weird shit was happening, and he was in the next room next to me texting out there that I was fired. I'm like, we were like, what the hell is going on?
That's awesome.
So is that a photo of us? Oh, am I X'd out?
That's awesome.
Did you do that, or did they do that?
No.
They did that? Yeah. I mean, it's a little strange. It's a little bizarre. I really don't know what happened. The guy on the left ended up taking my job. I mean, they're all cool guys. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, whatever happens, happens. But I understand, like, everybody was in a really crazy place, and I don't discount my own fault for that. Like,
Sure, good.
But yeah.
Got to take responsibility,
Yeah. But it was just not the right time. Maybe I shouldn't have been touring, but I had to.
Mm.
And it didn't affect, being on stage was the one thing that, like, helped me out of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, doing the best I could.
Were you touring for sanity purposes?
Yes. I was trying to restore some sanity.
Well, especially everyone had a weird 2 years, prior.
Yes. COVID fucked up everything for everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
It destroyed my band's momentum. It canceled tours. It stopped an album release. I mean, it was horrible. Everybody has their own COVID stories. But yeah, I mean, just jump back in. You got to get back in there. So that's what I did. I had to go play shows. So I did. It's just like we talked about earlier. There's a problem. Let's solve it. And that's what I tried to do to solve it. But, the shows were great. The 96 shows were good. The Malevolent shows were good. It was fun being in that band. And if I still am in the band, I'm in the band. Whatever happens, happens, But right now, my 96 is my main focus.
Yeah. If you were going through a rough time, was there a reason why you weren't touring with 96? Just go straight into that.
We were taking any tour we could get. It's really hard for us to get booked. We haven't been an opening act since Guns N' Roses, I don't think. I have tried to get on tours with 96, and it just falls through. It doesn't happen. We were going to do Alien Ant Farm, and that fell through, and all this. I'd love to be an opening band, play for an hour, and kick the crap out of the headliner. That's always been the fun thing to do. And we just take what we can get. So people are like, you never tour. Like, when we get it, I'd like to be on the road 6 months out of the year. I would love it. But unless the booking agency comes up with 6 months worth of tours, you can only do what we get. We're going out in October. I think like 70% of the dates are confirmed.
Great.
So we're going out in this fall. So yeah, I love being on the road. I just don't love a lot of the aspects of it, which most people don't. There's nothing special about that. Like the 23 hours, you just kind of have to find a way to kill it. But when you're on stage, it's like makes it all worth it.
I know. Yeah, it's like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And then you just get reminded.
Yeah, you do eventually.
Oh, yeah, this is why we're out here.
Days off are the worst, man.
Yeah. I still don't know how I feel about days off.
Fucking hate them.
Yeah.
Let's get up. Let's find somewhere to play. Like, you're in the whole habit of it, and then there's a day you don't do it, and it's just like, I hate days off. I'd rather play every day, and we do try to play every single day when we're on tour. But, once in a while, you need that travel day.
It's money down and drain sometimes. It's like, well, there goes all that money.
Yeah.
And it's already expensive enough to be out.
It's worse than ever.
It's right when you think it can't get any worse. Oh, it gets worse.
Yep.
You're like, fuck.
The gas is the main issue.
Gas right now, you hear. That's
unbelievable.
Gas and cost of cloth.
Cloth?
Yeah.
What do you use cloth for?
Shirts.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was thinking tablecloth for some reason. Yeah, the price of merchandise.
Do 96 tablecloths? It's all this Kiss talk, get.
Yeah, there probably are Kiss tablecloths. I don't know why there wouldn't be. But yeah, merch. The idea of like a t-shirt being $45 is outrageous. I remember we were selling them for $20.
Yeah.
And we were like, wow, $20. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot, dude.
$45 now. Like, everything's expensive. And I hate charging people that much for something.
Yeah.
It sucks, but you got to survive, right?
Yeah.
2025 in a rock or metal band is not easy.
It's harder than ever right now. As far as like
I don't think people understand that.
Expensive. It's tough.
Yeah. because a lot of people I talk to, a lot of fans are like, why aren't you on tour? Like, why don't you come? You ever get those fans that are like, you're on tour, but how come you're not coming to this place?
Mm-hmm.
You have every single state and
Yeah.
city asking you why you're not coming there, and they think it's your fault.
Yeah, sometimes this happens. You get the routing, and it's like, well, we're not going there.
Yeah, and they're like,
No.
they think you did it on purpose.
Yeah, it's just no, we just got the most convenient routing that we can get.
Exactly. Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Now, every band is competing with every band.
Right.
Like genres don't matter or age bracket. It's like you're competing with everyone for the same venue in that time.
Right. And it's tough. It's tough I love being in this band. I'm always going to be in this band. And I'm always going to be making music for this band. And I'm going to go out like that. Because right now, when you're 50, you start to think about getting shit over with. Bucket list stuff.
Mm.
You focus on that. You'll see. Give yourself 10 years.
Yeah. What are some of your bucket list stuff?
A lot of it I've just to release just a lot of I can't think. That's a good question.
I want to travel somewhere that's not on tour.
There you go. So you're a traveler.
No, but it's just
Where are you thinking?
I want to go. It sounds stupid, but everywhere. I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to somewhere in Germany. I want to go to Ireland.
For like a vacation?
Yeah, it's like vacay. You're not on tour. It's me and a lady. We're gonna go somewhere and just chill.
Yeah.
And do little things. And just chill. As opposed to, because it's different when you're there for music. It's just different.
You don't get it.
I tried. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, everybody's always like, "Oh, did you see the Eiffel Tower?" Well, it's like, no.
You read my mind. DERON, you just read my mind. I've been to Paris, France. I don't know how many fucking times. I've never been to the Eiffel Tower.
And people are like, why didn't you see the? I said, you don't understand. Like, you don't get to travel around the city. But I have one bucket list thing. I would like to move back into my old house. In Thornton, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I would like to buy that house back.
Dang.
And live there, because that house was the best. We had a hill. You could sled during the winter. There's so much area, and a lot of the stuff is still there, like all the trees and stuff in the back. It was like a forest and a stream.
Mm-hmm.
That house was so cool. It had like 4 stories, but they were small. Like, you go 3 steps, and then it was just a really cool laid out house. And I loved living there, and I miss it. So I would love to move back into that house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What does lady think?
I have no idea. I haven't said anything about it yet. But yeah, that's something that I would eventually.
That's a really cool. That's a good. I mean,
do you have a child at home?
I do.
You'd like to go back?
I still go there.
Yeah, you miss it, right? Mm-hmm. Not as much.
Yeah.
Not so much. You'd want to have it back and have it be your own, but
yeah,
it's just a really cool house. I mean, I don't know if I would actually do it, but it's something that I would really like to do.
That's cool.
Just move back there. Yeah, back to Westchester, and
you got to ask the boss.
Mm-hmm.
What, you've been married for 21 years, huh? Right?
Yeah. Well, we've been together 21 years.
Oh wow, it's a while, man.
Yeah.
How did you guys not break up?
You have to keep it together for the sake of family. You go through rough times. Everybody does. There's really nothing. There's no secret to it. You just do it. The way we met is just ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
She was in. Felissa was in a movie called Sleepaway Camp that I saw when I was 12, and in it she plays a bullied camper, which I was bullied at the time a lot, like really bad. That's why I wanted to get out of New Jersey. And I related with the character in that movie so much that I said to myself, I'm going to get that girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I said, I'm going to get her. And I didn't know how, and I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I manifested it. And then when the internet came out, I found out more about her, and then sent her a message. Next thing you know, the band's at a movie site where she's filming the movie, and I meet up with her, and that's that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's pretty bizarre, man.
You just do it. Yeah. And that's what happened. Yep.
You straight up said, I'm going to get her.
Yeah. 12 years old.
Holy shit.
There she is. Yeah. Right there. I saw that face and I said, I'm finding that woman. Because she was 7 years older than me. And I said, I'm finding that woman. I don't care. It was 12. I don't care how or what happens. It's just going to happen. And it did. And that's just goes to show that if you're not following what's on your mind, the things that are on your mind and take up a lot of your time in your mind, you got to follow those things and find them. No matter what means, you just do it. That's all I can. It's like Nike, just do it. It's like the perfect catchphrase. Whatever it is, just you want it, just do it. Get it.
Wow.
And my daughter really has that sense of just get it. She gets what she wants.
Mm.
She uses guilt. She uses charm. She gets what she wants from everyone, including me. And I say no. And then she does exactly what it takes to get me to say yes. If it's money or a ride or whatever it is. She knows what she... So that's how it works. To anybody out there, if there's something on your mind that you want, just go get it. Why not? What else are you going to do?
That is... Yeah, what separates... this is a thought I have often. Like, what separates you from the rest when you have a thought and it's not delusional? So let's say if it's not Darren Miller doing that, if someone else said that, you would think they're a psycho. You think they're fucking nuts, and you are delusional. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Because there's no such thing as delusion if it's possible. Everybody thought I was delusional. When I would say that out loud as a 12, 13, 14-year-old kid, people would say, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't share it with many people, but with the people that I did, they thought I was like an idiot, crazy. Everything I wanted to do, people thought was delusional, not possible. And those people are the ones that don't want it to happen because they know nothing's going to happen for them. You have to say fuck you to a lot of people in life. And that's not easy for everybody.
Yeah.
You just have to.
There is an element to you where you do have to be an asshole sometimes, not towards people, but you just don't listen. And you just say fuck you. Sometimes you don't say it to them, you say it in your mind.
Yeah.
You say fuck you in your mind, you just do it.
And sometimes it comes out, which is,
after like 4 shots.
It happens. Yeah, you end up. That's part of the mistakes that we made in the band back then. Is we said what we were thinking too much, and we didn't have anybody. A lot of people were telling us to keep our mouths shut, but we couldn't because we couldn't stand what we were being told, and when we knew it was dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but yeah, I mean, keep your mouth shut if something's in the way of getting what you want. Try to deal with the obstacle, but do whatever it takes to get what you want.
And that's what's going to separate you from the rest.
Right.
You got to know what you fucking want, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know.
And I don't know what kids want these days. I have no idea what they want. I don't think they've thought ahead that far.
I don't know if...
What do they do? What do kids do?
I don't know, a lot of people want to be influencers, I hear.
Yeah.
Or like YouTubers. I hear that pretty often.
Which is hard. You're a YouTuber, and it's probably really fucking hard.
Technically, yeah. I met someone. I saw Machine Head at the Wiltern, and some drunk guy came out. It's like, oh, you're that YouTube guy. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it hits you, right? It hits you.
Oh wow, I didn't even.
That your hard work's paying off. I saw with John McKenty. Were you at Incantation show at the 720 Club?
No, we were talking about that. I went to the one in Observatory.
Okay.
It was dope.
When they were playing Mortal Throne and Nazarene,
Oh,
the
yeah,
most
it was
evil
sick.
album ever.
It was evil, dude.
Yeah.
I was watching. Like, I'm at a death metal show. This is dope. Even the way it was lit, it was like they didn't even have like the lights on. It was dope. I was like, oh guys,
that album. I mean, I saw Incantation when I was 14 at G. Willikers in Jersey, And then the next time I saw him was just a couple months ago. We finally met John in person.
Oh,
and it was cool to see him on your show because
he's fucking great, man.
he is. Mortal Throne and Nazarene, man, that is the most evil album. And the counterpart, the rough mix of that album that they put out is called Upon the Throne of Apocalypse, is even heavier and more evil. So you got two versions of the album, the same album.
Yeah.
And they're both evil, but in different ways.
In different ways, huh?
I love that album. I love it. It's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, John's a special guy.
And then it was cool to see Chris Barnes on here too, because a lot of us didn't know what was going on. A lot of people had preconceived notions of how he is.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see him on here because I had been told so much about him that your show proved wrong to all the people that had said shit about him. So it gave me like a clearer perspective on who he was.
Yeah.
Because I had heard
Always
so
a goal.
much. Yeah, I heard so much bullshit. So
there's always a other side to people. Even like, dude, even like, I don't think people realize, even like assholes. Like, dude, there's a other side to them.
yeah, you only hear about the asshole part.
You don't know what they went through as a kid or what they're going through in their career with, like, maybe they have a wall up.
Right.
Maybe they're meeting a bunch of fucking fake ass people. Like you don't know.
Well, you don't know the person at
and,
all.
And you don't know the person at all.
Like people that probably make posts under the video probably say shit about you that doesn't even make sense to you.
Oh, sure, of
And
course.
in the comment section, there you go. Yeah, these people don't know who you are, but you know, everybody has a right to say stupid shit, so they do, and you know, it's interesting times we live in where you can post something and not have to take responsibility for it. You can be anonymous with anything you do. And AI's gotten so crazy right now, you can't tell the difference between a real video. I saw a video of this really fat girl jumping off of a diving board, and it just went psh, and everything fell down. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh, it's AI. Yeah. Like I had to remind myself it wasn't real. Yeah, that's crazy stuff.
Yeah, you gotta remind yourself. And people are talking shit on AI, but also at the same time, people are perpetuating it. Like they're liking a photo, they're sharing it in the thousands. I'm like, you are supporting what you're talking shit on.
Yeah.
I mean, thousands of comments and thousands of shares. I'm like, what are you doing?
I think it goes back. I don't know if fan fiction is still a thing, but I think that people just want to have their own version of you in their head. Kind of like how I didn't know anything when I was a kid. I didn't know anything about Gene Simmons except that he wore that makeup and looked like that. So I would create all these scenarios about what he did in his free time. You know, but now you can look at somebody that you admire or you don't admire, you don't like, and without thinking about it, you come up with all these personality traits you think they have, and you're wrong.
You don't know.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Man.
It's funny. It's interesting to watch the shit that goes on now.
It's interesting to watch the world. Just be the world.
And how everything that we used to work so hard on is so easy now.
Oh, dude.
You get everything, you used to wait like weeks for an album to come out, and then you'd be outside of Best Buy at midnight waiting for them to open the doors so you could buy the CD.
Record, yeah.
Now it's just like, psh, put it on. I don't like it. Turn it off. Scroll. Oh, I like this band. Next. That was nothing like how music was back then. You know that.
Yeah, you had to justify your purchase.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I have to listen to this fucking record. I have to.
You invested your money.
But I fucking bought this Soulfly record. I'll fucking.
If you don't like it now, you better listen to it and learn to like it because you spent your $18 on it.
Yeah.
The kids will never know that shit. They'll never know all that great shit.
Yeah, the shit that we have access to is it's crazy.
It's outrageous.
And I mean, also, an idiot like me could have, cameras and be able to post like a TV show. Mm-hmm. So like, I want to hate it, but also at the same time, I am reaping like the benefits of it.
Right. It comes with any job.
Sure.
And you did it. I mean, you manifested this, you did it, and you get to meet all these awesome people. If I could be doing this, I would love to do this. I want to do a podcast. I want to figure out how to do that because I still want to be multimedia. I want to be a band and podcasts and do all that stuff. But I need other people to help me start because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. You need help.
I do need. I need a lot of help. I need somebody to plug in my guitar for me.
Yeah.
It'll take me a day to figure out why a pedal won't work. Oh, there's no battery in it.
Yeah.
Always have the in and the out.
It's not turning on, dude. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, I had to figure this thing out.
It's sometimes these things in your mind seem impossible, but I've learned in time, just turn it off. I've always said, like, self-doubt, it's just, I turn it off. Just knowing, I know when my brain's lying to me, and that takes self-awareness. I know, okay, this is just a thought. Some thoughts are real, some are not.
Right.
This is not a real thought, so I'm gonna cast it aside. Oh, this is a real thought. I'm gonna, or self-doubt. Sometimes I'll just run towards it, just out of fun.
Your brain is like a path. It has different tracks. You have to figure
100%.
out what thoughts make sense and are achievable and possible, and just maneuver with that. And a lot of people don't know like how to do that shit. I guess, yeah, especially. I guess it's like it hits creative people, you know, or anybody that wants to achieve, you know, a goal, like an employment or something, or start a business. Like, I mean, I'd love to do something like that. I'd love to bartend. I'd like to start a record label, although it's way too late. If I did start a record label, it'd be no streaming. It would be just physical product.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
But, I mean, those are some bucket list things. I want to be a bartender because I like listening to people's problems.
Really?
Yeah. I'd like to. Another thing I want to do is I want to get online and start helping people with depression and shit. Like, because I got a therapist, although I don't know if you have to be certified. I would like to just talk to these kids because it's a huge issue and I'm very experienced in that.
Yeah.
So I hear a lot of bad advice online for kids that have depression. I'm just like, shit, that's stupid. So I would like to do that, something like that. More than just music. So I like being in a band, but it's not the only thing. A band should have, to me, it should have more than that, you know? I'd always be 96, bartending, 96 bar. I don't know. I'm just rattling off bullshit right now. I don't know.
You never know. Am I stick?
It could. I mean, all these things are attainable. You just have to work at them and not give up on it.
Not giving up is a whole other, that's a whole other realm.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't give up.
Right. You can't.
I've had days where like, oh, I can't. It's over. I quit. I literally quit one day. The next day I woke up. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, you jump right back on.
It's like,
yeah, there's no quitting. If it's on your mind, if it's on your mind, you have to get there. You have to attain it somehow.
Yeah, you have to get it. You literally have to get it out of any means necessary. Anything that doesn't sacrifice character or integrity, I'm going to do it.
Hurt anybody.
Or hurt anybody. That's what I'm going to do it. Literally, I'm going to do it.
As long as you don't hurt anybody, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Physically, mentally, emotionally, not hurt anybody, and you're good to go. Now, you might hurt people along the way that don't want you to do what you're doing, but that's a casualty of wanting to do that. Just the way it works.
Yeah. Or sometimes you lose touch with people because you're just always gone.
And that hurts as hell. That hurts. That fucking hurts bad.
Yeah. People just move on. They have their own lives and they move on. You're like, oh shit, damn. This is part of the price. It's part of the price, man. Yeah. Well, Darren, thank you for the vinyl gifts. I literally have 4 vinyl. I put one up here for the first time.
That's the first record.
And we got
World Under Blood.
And we haven't talked about Tactical yet.
Yeah. We did that in 2008. I forget. That album was tough to make, a lot of roadblocks, but eventually it came out.
Nice.
We were supposed to be a real band and tour and everything, but it just got it wasn't possible. It wasn't feasible financially. It wouldn't have worked out. We were almost going to.
Tim Young on drums, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Master Blaster. He's
nice.
Insane drummer. Awesome guy too.
Dude, this record, Synergy, is fucking dope, dude.
Thanks. It's my favorite I've ever done.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk really highly of your vocals now. It's cool.
I everything that I've ever done is represented on that album in some way. It's just perfect in a I can't explain. It's just a perfect piece to me. It just everything on there is what I wanted to be on there. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
It turned out exactly the way I wanted it to.
Nice.
Whereas every other record has something on there where you're like, I shouldn't have done that.
practicing your vocals, going driving to a Circle K and just sitting in a parking lot and just practicing, or what?
Oh yeah. Screaming, yeah, and that's exactly how I warm up. Yeah, screaming in the car, singing in the car.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Now if I had to drive somewhere far, you sing along to all that shit and just get in the car and scream, because you can't do it in front of other people, or it's too loud. They're going to call the police.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how I practice singing. I never wanted to be a singer. I had to by default. Couldn't find any.
You couldn't find anybody, huh?
No, I'm not the best singer in the world. I'm not even close, but I was the best that we had at the time. And so I never stopped. I never gave up doing that. Yeah. So it's fun.
That's right, man. I was trying to think of that first riff again.
I forget it. I always forget shit.
Something
like that. Harmonies in there.
That's awesome.
So then I would throw in, like, just to make it interesting for me to play, to interest myself, I would probably go.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like a disco thing where you play with the octaves. That's how we would write a song, just taking one note, turning it into, and then just coming up with a crazy way to rhythmatize it, which is a word I just made up.
Interesting, man.
Yeah, I haven't sat down and actually tried to write in a long time.
Well, hopefully this sparks something. It's cool.
I've been demoing stuff, but I haven't done that in ages. Just actually recording a song before you record it for an album.
Oh yeah.
Do you demo stuff?
Oh yeah, always.
I never do.
Wow.
Now I'm finally doing it again, and shit's starting to come up. Like, oh, okay, that's good.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's a good idea to have some rough demos.
Yeah. Yeah. Finally doing that.
Glad I could help.
Finally doing that again.
Why? So okay, maybe I'd like to close it off with your Esoterik.
Yeah.
So did you always not do the two high strings?
I started to do them once in CKY because they were getting in the way, and I'm not a lead guitar player at all.
Yeah.
I mean, if I write a lead, it takes me a long time, and I probably do it in 3 pieces in the studio. So I'm not a lead guitarist, but if I need to be, I will. Mm-hmm. But when we were doing CKY, I took the last 2 strings because they just get in the way. And they, if they just sound, I don't really like the way they sound. So it's probably been since 97 or 98 I took them off because I just use the 4 strings to.
That's it.
I'm a riff player, a riff writer and riff player. I don't. I'm just not a lead.
Fair to me. That's it.
No, man, I'm not a lead guitar player. But no, my Esoterik, I have a custom one coming, and it's gorgeous. These things are awesome guitars. Have you played it?
Yeah.
Check it out.
I was jamming it, dude.
Oh, you were? You played it? They're badass.
They're fucking sick.
And they supported me for a while. Ever since I left Parker, they've supported me, and
awesome.
I'm gonna support them till the end. I have somewhere, hopefully online, there's a rough outline of my custom. I don't know. It wouldn't be. I don't think it would be up there. But
are they into doing a SIG model?
What model?
A signature?
Yeah, it's a signature. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that thing's crazy.
That's what's coming.
Oh, wow.
Blue and yellow are my favorite colors.
Are they really? Nice.
Yeah, when you put them together, I just love the way they look. And it has 96, the 6 on the 6th fret, the 9 on the 9th fret. It's got just one volume knob.
196.
Why do I use that number?
Yeah.
Well, it was the year that I started CKY.
Oh, okay.
A lot of good shit happened in that year. Turned 20 years old. It's just a very lucky number.
Okay.
96 is my number.
Swamp ash body.
Yeah. It's past the design stages, as you can see. It's gorgeous. They're working on it. I hope it comes out before the end of the year, but I'm not sure. But I wanted to make it kind of tacky because you don't see tacky guitars. Mm-hmm. You see guitars that were like developed and very unique. They're not unique to me. I wanted to make one that was unique. Unique colors, not so busy, just a volume knob. And there it is.
and there it is.
That's it.
And I think we got it.
I can't wait to pick one up and play it. But yeah, that's just a rough outline of what's happening.
That's rad, man. Yeah, I haven't seen a blue guitar with a yellow headstock ever.
Right. I think I want it to be hopefully a darker blue than that. And a darker yellow. But if you put there's something about blue and yellow next to each other. It's just
yeah.
I like it. It's just there's something about it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a signature model.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, Darren, you have any
It's blue and yellow right there. Darker blue. Yeah, see there we go. That one on the right. Was that say Kiesel?
Oh, Kiesel's crazy with the with the paint jobs.
I have trouble playing guitars that are like strangely bodied, like a V or something.
I can't sit down with V's.
Yeah, I have trouble. If you can't sit down and play, look at that thing. What the hell is that? Is that a toy?
That's my signature model coming in.
It's like 5 pieces of spaghetti and a fly swatter.
Hey, Darren, did we anything that we missed?
No, man, we covered a lot.
Okay, I'm hoping we covered a lot. So
I had a blast. Same. I could sit here for another 10 hours.
I'm honored, man. It was cool.
It's hard to find people that know music and want to talk about it at the same time. Both things, know music and want to talk about it. Yeah, I'm really honored, and I'm glad Cam hooked me up with you. That kid rules. I'm getting him shouting out to Cam DeWald.
Boom.
And thanking Matt Sheehan for driving and helping me out with this. And Jerry, you're awesome. And Chris, I can't tell you how honored I was to come here and talk to you about music.
Pleasure, man.
I don't know if you do repeat, but I'll
of course
to come back.
Yeah, man.
Just when new shit happens.
Yeah, get a fucking new record out or anything that we can help with, because we're not gonna go anywhere. I mean, I'm doing it till I'm dead.
Good.
So
that's the way to approach it. Yes, look at it that way. You're doing it till you're dead.
So I try to build relationships with people bands that want to come back. Just come back. Who cares? We're not gonna. We're keep doing this every week. It's every Monday.
I think it's great.
Thank you.
I think it's great.
Thank you.
And I wanna do the same thing you're doing, but I just don't want to compete.
Okay.
I want you to be better at it than I am. I want you to always be more successful and better at this than I would ever.
Oh, Darren, I appreciate that. Yes.
I love that chord. I love reverse power chords, man. It's really sad and melancholy.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. Riff? I mean this.
Oh. Time is taking its toll on you. The lines that crack your face. Silent, no violence. Withered in every place. Pestilence, what you have to endure, or what you have put others through. Death, deliverance to you for sure. Now there's nothing you can't do. It's a Metallica song from Kill 'Em All.
Is it?
Seek and Destroy or... It's one of the first songs I learned.
Oh, is it?
Four Horsemen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I loved those first four Metallica albums. I used them to figure out how to play rhythm guitar because James Hetfield is the rhythm god.
He is. James Hetfield.
He,
I mean, can't beat it, dude.
you can't. He could play the same guitar part 8 times and it would sound like one.
Wow.
He's amazing. I love that guy.
Real quick, Darren, where can people find you?
You could find me at usual Instagram, you know, Darren Miller _official. Yep, that's it's me right there. 96 Bitter Beings _official. Yeah, Facebook, I'm on there. I mean, where else, Matt? The website. 96bitterbeings.com.
YouTube, 96 Bitter Beings.
Yeah, and some asshole that was in the band before, like, hijacked our old, what is it, Instagram? He's a fucking pussy asshole.
With us on the new platforms.
Yeah, so we had to fucking get a new one.
Oh, it happens.
Ass fucker.
It happens.
Just the worst person in the world. So we have this new one, 96BB _official.
Cool.
Yeah, see, so we're just starting out that one.
Nice.
So
Spotify. Don't forget Spotify.
Spotify, yeah. I've never
Spotify.
been on Spotify. I have no idea.
Are you
how it works.
serious?
I have no idea how it works.
Okay.
Nope.
Also on VHS.
That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pick up the new.
If I like something, I will buy it.
Pick up the new record on cassette.
They make cassettes.
I know.
So I'm the guy that buys them.
I'll buy one just.
If I like a
'cause.
band, which I don't anymore, but if I like a
Yeah.
band, I will buy their CD.
Sick.
'Cause I haven't found a new band in I don't know how long. Officially, yeah, we have an official store. I didn't even know about
Store vinyl.
Yeah. You know, anybody out there, check out the Synergy record, the Synergy Restored record, 96 Bitter Beings. Buy a physical copy of it. It supports the band.
Buy that physical. And check out the podcast every single Monday, and check out our new Patreon. Yep.
Get into vinyl.
And get in the vinyl. And
Keep your Blu-rays because if you count on streaming, what are they called? Servers, streaming companies or whatever to always have what you want to hear or watch.
Yeah.
And they don't, like, you have to keep your Blu-rays and shit because they can just decide, oh, we're not going to let you stream this movie anymore.
Interesting. It's true.
Keep
Save
your
it.
physical media, people. Keep your CDs.
I think this one calls for a jam out. I think we're just going to fade out with the jam. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you very much. What do you want to play? Let's play something fast.
Okay. faster, you fuck!
All right.
I'm fucked up, dude.
I love that sound, man. I gotta get this thing. I'd be writing so much more.
See?
And playing so much more.
It's inspiring.
It is.
All right, Darren.
Thank
Honor,
you so
man.
much.
Pleasure, brother. Sick.
I'm honored. Thank you.